It is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Bob Hester with Flat Out Motors. I had a chance to drive the new 2022 Ram 1500 Limited, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. We'll also have the cruising calendar and later This Week in Auto History. All that and more just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars down there, involved in his cell phone and mouth open, all that. And then we have King Conrad DeLong right here. Mr. Know-It-All, as we like to refer to him. Over here, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Bob Flats. Glad you could be with us today.
Scruggs and Flats.
Flat and Scruggs.
There you go.
Yeah. Matter of fact, there's a picture that I have that I cherish from the Love Street Light Circus and Feel Good machine.
Oh, yeah.
That apparently that when the picture was taken, Flat and Scruggs were playing at the Love Street Light Circus.
And they were a big part of the Beverly Hillbillies, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
And Hee Haw?
Not me.
Couldn't find my headset.
And you can't find your microphone either. What?
Huh? Theoretically.
Yeah, that too.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Theoretically. So glad you could join us today for our live show. Last week we had a recorded device that Mr. Mars put together for us because
We weren't here.
we weren't here.
I was.
It was the 4th of July weekend. We didn't have any guests. All of us needed a little break, and so we broke, and it was all good. So
Broke it.
we broke it. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do that again next weekend because I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to the Corvette Invasion in Bastrop, Texas. And Mr. Mars is going to put together a repeat show of what we thought was a great show that we did back on the 18th of June. Is that right?
25th of May.
May. What? 25th of May. I just got that all screwed up, didn't I? Well, it's been a really ugly night for me.
1846.
It was a late morning.
It was a very late
You were
morning.
just getting out of bed when we got here. Usually you're up early.
I know.
He was pulling in the drive when I got here.
It was one of those evenings that you just can't explain. But
Not legally,
too
anyway.
much tequila.
probably yes. That led to it. Yes, that was probably it. But at any rate,
Hey, well, it is what it is.
it is. All right. So let's move on with the show, shall we?
Please.
So right now we are going to talk to a fellow by the name of Bob Hester. He's with Flat Out Motors in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Flat Out Autos.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Let me see here.
But
Flat Out Autos. Yes, you're right. And my apologies.
That's twice he's gone back to the notes.
Yeah. Well, and there's going to be a lot of that this morning, I have a feeling. So
you warned us.
guess what? I'm just going to shut up and say, here's Bob Hester. And Bob, it's good to have you with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And my apologies for being me.
Good morning. Actually, it's Rob.
Okay.
One tiny correction, but I'll go by. That's all right.
Well, we've had you on before. I think when we had you on the last time, a friend of mine had scouted your K5s out at Houston Intercontinental Airport, and you told us that I believe they were headed to the Mideast somewhere.
That's correct. The royal family in Abu Dhabi bought 4 of them, identical, and they had shipped. We actually transported them to Houston, and they put them on a Turkish air cargo jet from there and shipped them.
And stunningly beautiful vehicles. I mean,
Thank you.
The people who have a passion for that generation K5 of that early 70s K5 definitely would line up to buy these. But we understand you have something new coming up.
We do. Actually, after we developed those, we actually last year at SEMA, we want to do something a little different. Everybody talked about, we had a lot of social media chatter saying that, K5 can't be 4 doors. That's a Suburban. So we built for SEMA last year, we actually took a 4-door Tahoe, cut it in half, shortened it 8 inches, took the back doors out, and then grafted in square body K5 quarter glasses on it. But it was still a fixed roof. Took it to SEMA last year. What we figured out is that we never want to build another one. They were crazy difficult to build. So what we ended up doing is coming up with the idea of building a brand new version using the kind of the formula that GM did back in the day with the old square bodies. They used a single cab pickup and a short bed and made it a unibody with a removable roof. So that's what we started. We actually got with an artist, Oscar down in Texas, and he actually did a rendering for us. And we bought a brand new vehicle, started cutting on it, and we've got all the metal work is done, all the body work's done. We're roughing the fiberglass shell in right now.
So you were lucky that GM brought back the regular cab short bed, because that was out of production for a couple of years.
Actually, no, because it would have been awesome if they did, but they only offer it in the little 4-cylinder.
Oh, okay.
I cannot get a V8 in it. The only V8 we can get is in a long bed, and with it, we have to shorten the wheelbase, and we actually use a crew cab short bed as opposed to just the regular short bed.
Okay.
The proportions are much better. So, but I can flip the camera around. I got here in the shop. I can show you the truck if you want.
Oh, please do.
Absolutely.
Well, let me just ask you this. I mean, clearly to stay in business, you've got to make money. So these things are not cheap.
No, these, what we're trying to do a little different on these. That's one of the other reasons we went this route. This truck, we are looking at a $120 price tag out the door, including the brand new vehicle. But essentially what we do is we've opened up the back of the cab, front of the bed. We regusseted all the plates. The bed lined up great with the cab on the structure. We shortened the chassis. It's about 28 inches, I believe. But we reincorporated everything, all of the stock spare tire bolts back up, the stock hitch bolts back up, the bumpers, everything bolts back up. We will probably offer a retro, since we've done a lot of that, and everybody's kind of gotten, we got a name for building those. But if we do, we want to build it on this platform as opposed to the Tahoe platform. The Tahoe platform is a much, much more difficult beast to deal with the side curtain airbags, the rear AC, all of those things. Makes it a lot more difficult.
So this is going to look like a new truck.
That's right.
So the front grill and everything.
A couple of renderings here. I'll show you guys kind of what the finished product looks like.
But the front grill and such is going to be looking like a new truck. What you're doing is the grafting on the back of the K5 Blazer cap, so to speak.
That's correct.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're actually doing, like I said, a full removable shell. We're having to build it from scratch. Obviously, nobody makes one to fit this truck in this application. So we're having to do something a little different.
Now,
we do a little bit of everything in our shop. That's kind of what I was wanting to kind of show. This is our next SEMA vehicle will be in our booth this fall. This is a 68 International Travel setting on a roadster shop chassis with a Crate LT4. It is an insane build. I mean, the detail underneath is crazy. We are actually the owner of this vehicle wanted us to fix everything, get the body perfect, and then we're going to patina it. So it'll be a little different build, but it'll be in our booth at SEMA this fall.
With shiny rust.
No shiny. We don't do shiny.
We don't do shiny. I like that.
Not when it comes to patina. Patina has got to have very, very little sheen to it. So it's very important for us to make it look realistic and believable.
And do you have your own in-house painters that do this patina, or do you sub that out?
Yes, sir. We do everything in-house. We actually have all the guys from paint, body, fab, metalwork, and there's even a upholstery in-house. He's a separate independent, but he actually is right here in our shop. So
how convenient.
We have everything, one-stop shop right here in our doors.
I was going to say, how convenient is that to have upholstery in the building?
It is.
The
And then this little rig here is my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, and I did the long haul power tour
oh my
in
gosh!
this little grown up go kart.
So you did that? Was it 1,400 miles this year?
It was about, for us, it's only about 1,000, a little over 1,000-mile trip. Starting here in Jonesboro, we're only about an hour from Memphis where it started this year.
And you did that in an open chassis.
Yeah. Yes, we didn't. Fortunately, it was no rain, but it was 100 degrees every day, so it was a challenge to say the least.
Oh, but
But
what
it was fun.
what a memory for you and your daughter to do something like
Absolutely.
that together. That's something she'll never forget, and you'll never forget it as well. So with the SEMA build is your international. Is there a plan to have your K5 conversion ready for SEMA
Oh, yes.
as well?
Yes, we'll have both of them in our booth. And we're actually going to be building about 25 the first year of the new Jimmys. And our next project that we've kind of got in the works, I don't have renderings completed yet, but we're going to kind of go the other way with this. And we're going to do a sport version, 2-wheel drive lowered with 4-link rear suspension, all coilover suspension with supercharger, and make a high performance sport version with the 2-door as well.
That'd be a fun ride. Now, with when you talk about putting the 4-link in, is that going to also include a new frame to do all of that, or are you just going to adjust the existing?
We're going to use
frame?
the stock frame. It's a heavy duty frame. These trucks are built for working and for hauling loads, so I think it'll be perfectly fine for what we're doing. But yeah, there's quite a few companies, and we're looking to partner with a few of them on suspension components so that we could be consistent.
Back to your painter. Where did
Yeah.
your painters get the skill sets to do the patina work like that? Because I know that's
I'll
not
be honest,
something.
it's a lot of trial and error and just trying different things. We just finished up a build in our shop. It was for the same gentleman that owns the International. He's got a 72 Suburban that had just amazing patina on it. I mean, literally no paint at all left on top of the hood. But he had a couple areas he wanted to fix that he wasn't okay with in the back. So we actually made all the repairs, and we matched up the patina and then clear coated everything. One of the things that we do, it's a little different. Even on the truck, we'll use different clear. We'll use a flat clear, and then we'll use an eggshell for different areas and blend the two.
Okay.
So you don't have shiny rust. Shiny rust is just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me. So.
And I see some of those that are the patinaed vehicles that show up at different meets and stuff, and you can tell they used a high gloss clear over the top of it. And it's like, okay.
It screams fake.
Well, with that, getting a chance to look at this Suburban that your customer owns probably is a good experience for your painter, because it gives him I know what it should look like. So making that continuation of that patina on the rest of the Suburban will help him quite a bit doing the International.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what's the plan for the interior of the International?
We're doing something a little simple. It'll have a wool carpet, but with the seats are pretty simple. They're bench seats. We're not going crazy with it. He wants it to look like it could have been an original interior, but with a little nicer finishes, obviously all leather and so forth. But he really he's a great client to have. He's got great taste, in the builds that he does are just phenomenal. So we're very thankful that we've gotten the opportunity to work with him on this. We've got another project coming down the line with him, a 70 Cutlass that was kind of a special car for him. It was he and his wife. It was their first vehicle. So we're going to be doing a full resto mod on it, full frame off, LT1 crate, everything on that car as well.
Make my heart beat fast. I have a 70 model Rally 350 for my toy car.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, how cool is that? Yeah, we'll have to have you back on again to show, you know, when you
Absolutely.
got that 70, because they all bust my chops about my Oldsmobile and some of the issues I've had with it.
There's no issues.
come
No,
on.
he is over a year now. He will not, for whatever reason, only he knows, he will not change the ignition switch out so the car doesn't run. I don't know why.
Car will run.
Time and effort. Don't. Anyhow,
It's
brought it
always
up.
anyhow.
You brought it up,
Yeah, that's right.
I know. So,
and it's yellow.
And it's yellow.
and the
yellow.
bumpers are yellow too.
It's 3-string.
So, have you followed up with the Royal family on their trucks at all?
I'll be honest, I haven't heard a word from them. When they left our shop, we've never seen anything from them. We've never seen any sign. Only the last social media or anything I've seen is where they were loading them on a plane. And a couple of people snapped pictures of them.
Oh,
We built a couple more. We actually finished one. We've got a yellow one, a yellow 70 model up in New Hampshire for a Chevy dealer up there. It's the ochre yellow. And then we've got a GMC Denali that we built over in Memphis that we finished up as well. Those are the last two that we built.
Cool.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was.
Don was reading.
Yes, my. Never mind. I was distracted, and my apologies. Because I mean, I should apologize to you from the very get-go because it's not Bob, it's Rob, and Flat Out Autos, and not Flat Out Motors. So clearly, I have had a brain malfunction when it comes to everything about you and your great facility up there in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Are you from Jonesboro? Is that why you're there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is home.
Well, it's good. That's good. And it looks like you've got a beautiful shop there, and obviously, clearly, you do some incredible work. And I know that we've had you on before, but it's a whole new experience because it's been a year or so.
Yeah, it's
At
been a
least-
little over a year.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little over a year. And I remember when Mike said, "Oh, it's the K5 guy." Bingo! I remember the K5 interview, and we were stunned back then. And clearly, you've come a long way in the time that we talked to you last. So, congratulations on a job well done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
If I remember correctly, when we looked at the original trucks that were out at the airport, I think that was either the same weekend or the weekend before Lone Star Throwdown, the truck show up in Conroe.
Yep.
Any plans on maybe attending Lone Star Throwdown with any of your toys?
Oh yeah, once we get the new one done, we've actually got a couple other C10s. I've got a 71 that's here in the shop right now that we're just finishing up. It's a 6.0 LS with a turbo, and then we've got another 72 that we actually did a LS swap on and patinaed it as well. So we're going to have those couple of those be finished up and be out and about.
So,
And then when the new Jimmy will be out, we'll be making all the shows with it.
so do you prefer, just a personal preference, the GMC versus the Chevy? Because it seems like you do more on the GMC side of things than the Chevy. Didn't know if there was a reason why.
On the older body styles, the old C10s, I'm a Chevrolet guy. I love the 72 grill. In my opinion, it's just gorgeous on them. But on the new modern vehicles, I like the GMC.
Well, great.
There you go.
Rob, we really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Flatouautos.com. I've already posted a link on our Facebook page, and we'll get some more up on some of our other social media for us. You build some stunning-looking vehicles, and we hope to have you on again in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank
You
you.
bet.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us here at In Wheel Time Car Talk, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2022 Ram 1500. Holy Toledo.
Wipe that smile off your face.
Oh my gosh. You know, everybody asks me, so what's your favorite truck? This is it. And I have driven all of the new 22s that they have out on the market today. And this by far is my favorite. Available trim levels include the Tradesman HFE, the Bighorn, or in Texas we call it the Lone Star, the Rebel, the Limited, the Laramie, the Longhorn, and the TRX. This is a standard half-ton pickup truck. I had the Limited Crew Cab 4x4. It comes in 2 cabs, shorter long bed, 4 engine options, ranging from 305 horsepower to 702 horsepower, and seats up to 6 people, depending on whether you have a bench seat in the front. Now, not all of the trim levels offer the bench seat, so
Oh, do they really?
you'll have to.
Okay.
Not all of them offer the bench seat.
Not all of them.
Yeah, up to 6. Most of them are 5-person vehicles, which is what I would have. The 2 buckets
Center
up
console.
front. Yeah. Mhm. It was all new in 2019, but there have been many upgrades, and they continue to upgrade it every year. Exterior features, it has a well-proportioned exterior. As far as body panels are concerned, everything just works right on this car when it comes to eyesight. Traditional grille that doesn't overpower the front end, which is a real sore spot for me, my own personal opinion. I want everything proportionate. Love the painted bumpers that is an option on the Lone Star. I know that sounds crazy.
Body colored?
Body colored bumpers. Yeah. It makes it look more car-like. And for most of us, we don't use the trucks
as
trucks. We use them as
daily drivers.
Luxury vehicles. Yeah. Beautiful wheel designs based on the option package. What I liked about it, that Ram box, what a brilliant idea that is. That takes that area from the wheel well and uses it above the wheel well that has access on the sides of the truck that's lockable. And they've got all sorts of options. You can put fishing rods in there. They've got a thing that holds fishing rods. You can use it as a cooler, dump the ice in there and all your cold drinks in there.
Yeah.
Great for tailgating. Anyway.
And still the only manufacturer that uses that space as a storage compartment.
Yes.
Ram is the only one that's doing it, and what an advantage I think that gives them.
Totally agree. Interior highlights. The best designed interior of all the pickups, period. Upper trims get real leather that are, the leather is unique to the trim level. The subtleties in each one of them really depends on the trim level. Like, for instance, if you want to get the ranch look to it, it has its own unique flair. Whatever. Upper trims get real leather, as I mentioned. Pinstripe motif on the Limited is absolutely the bomb. They carry it through the dash all the way to the floor mats.
Oh, wow.
And the trim in the doors. Cargo and trunk room, well, lots of under-seat storage as well as in-floor storage. A great addition on these trucks. Lane keep assist stays off with a one-time push of the button. You don't have to constantly, every time you start it, push the button to keep the lane assist.
You can disable it, and it stays disabled even if you do cycle
until
the
you
key,
press the button
which
again.
is unusual in the market because most everybody else recycles it.
Cowboy-approved Laramie Longhorn is the bomb. Get the 12-inch touchscreen.
Oh, it makes such a difference. And I agree with you. I think that the best interior in the market is the Ram.
You've seen all the ones that I've driven.
The Ram by far, hands and feet above everybody else's interior.
The engine that I had was the 5.7-liter V8, which is probably pretty much the most popular engine. And the reason being is because of the horsepower and the torque for people that actually use it as a pickup truck. Horsepower, 395, torque, 410. Transmission, an 8-speed automatic. Tow rating, 11,520 pounds. Haul rating is 2,020 pounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, 11,000 pounds and a half ton is pretty significant.
Yeah.
It really is. Miles per gallon, 18 city, 22 highway for a combined of 19. That's what it's rated. I got 16.8, and that's just the way.
That's very good.
Not bad.
Full-size truck, that's very good. With a Hemi?
Yeah. I remember many of the trucks that I've had in the past from different manufacturers get as little as 10, some of them 13, and that's on the high end. This one gets 16.8 from my experience of driving 229.7 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of power. It's ready at the hit of the throttle. E-Torque makes a noticeable difference in smoothness. It's like butter taken off from the line. Ride and handling, what I liked about it, the independent rear suspension with the air bag lift on it. It doesn't have springs per se. That's my choice. What could use improvement? Nothing. Base trim price $62,460. Price is tested $72,420. Base model price, you can get in a Ram pickup truck for $36,675. Other base prices for other competitors include the Ford F-150 for $38,920, the Chevy Silverado 1500 for $39,500, and the Toyota Tundra for $38,000.
Right in the price range market with everybody else.
Yep. So, and that's my review of the 2022 Ram 1500. Thank you for playing. Time now for the cruise-in calendar, and let's do some cruise-ins.
Just cruise.
So tonight is Track Casual at Speed Sport in New Caney, Texas. That's going to be a track event, $150 entry fee. Also tonight is Nifty 50s up in the Woodlands at Buckthorn Place. And entry fee, again, is $10 to go. Live music. Generally a very good crowd.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. And be careful if you're bringing pets and stuff because the
Or your
ground is
mother-in-law.
going to be hot.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to keep everybody careful. Tonight at 5 p.m. down in Pearland at the Crafty Crab on Broadway is an open cruise. And they are asking for a $20 donation to the Wounded Warriors Project. Jeep night at 3 Acres, food truck park in Santa Fe, Texas, and that starts at 5 p.m. and goes to 9:30 p.m. Hot Nights and Cool Tunes in Brenham, Texas, starts at 5 p.m. and that's an open cruise and it's free, and that's at Douglas Street and Alamo Street in Brenham. In Montgomery, Texas, is the Brookshire Brothers Cruise-In. Again, starts at 5 p.m., and that's a free cruise-in. And then as we go round the circle here, Wharton Cruise Night is tonight starting at 6 p.m. In Wharton. Again, that's a free one. And then finally, the Saturday night cruise-in at Home Depot at Marina Bay and Clear Lake Shores. Again, another free cruise-in, and that starts at 5 p.m.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show streams on the iHeartRadio app and Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, you'll hear from Car Talk professionals. I wrote that.
What?
Oh, so we have somebody calling in?
The phone lines are open right
And,
now.
and you know what? At least I got a laugh out of Mars because he
I know.
said nothing in the last segment. Are you participating this week, or are we going to send you out into the parking lot, Mr. Mars?
I'm evaluating my options at the moment.
Uh-oh.
We're also Car Talk professionals that lie and we tell tales.
Tall
That,
tales.
that even their mothers wouldn't believe. Conrad will have This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Conrad DeLong. Let's not forget, we need more Jeff
Let's
Zekin.
not.
Always need more Jeff.
I'm
Let's
Don
not
Armstrong. So
forget.
glad that you could join us today.
Jeff's got rhythm.
Yeah, I do.
There's a song in that. I've got rhythm.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You're right. Yeah, shut up, Don. Don't sing.
What'd you do with all that money your parents gave you for singing lessons?
Apparently,
It went up in smoke. Oh.
I need to go take some headache medicine
Put some salt on the rim.
again.
One of those deals where you don't know if it's too much tequila or not enough tequila. Just one of those mornings.
Well, I think it's too much because it kind of carried over till the morning. So you need the hair of the dog that bit you.
I have it in the house, so I may have to step out and.
Take a few shots.
No, not a few shots. No, I'm not going to do that.
Several.
I'm several shots. I have some things that I
Fascinated.
lined up. For the first year ever, Kia leads J.D. Power's annual vehicle dependability study with a score of 145 problems per 100 vehicles. Buick and Hyundai round out the top three. The highest premium brand on the list is Genesis with a score of 148. It's common for so-called mass market brands to lead this particular study, according to J.D. Power, as premium brands. Typically, they incorporate more technology in their vehicles, which increases the likelihood for problems to occur and aren't necessarily built to a higher standard than less expensive brands.
Just more things.
Just more things to
Could
go
go
wrong.
And it's interesting because now 145 is the best in the industry. There was a point in time where 103 was the best in the industry. It'd be fun to look at a chart how that best in the industry number has graphed over a period of time, because to me 145 back when I was working for GM, that was kind of a mediocre number. I mean, everybody was targeting for, the 110s or below. A couple of them were targeting under 100. I don't think anybody ever got there. But yeah, so 145 may be the best in the industry, but it's interesting how high that number's gotten.
Does that show you the quality of the manufacturer?
And the expectation of the consumer, I think, drives that even more. As Don was saying, as the level of the car, the luxury brand car, there's more things that can go awry. So that level of expectation of the customer is more apt to point out things.
One
that
of the
they don't
sore
like,
spot is the infotainment system, because
which back when I was talking about wasn't a key factor in a
Correct.
car.
But what about what? Okay, so you've got options. You've got a General Motors product, and they have 10 options on it, and then you got a Ford product. They have the same type of options on the Ford product, and of course it goes to Stellantis as well. So the expectations, like you said, of the consumer, well, yeah, I want to get that in any brand. All that stuff that you're telling me about, all those options, I'm going to get it over here in this brand too. So is that part of it as well?
But there's so many differences in, as Don said, the infotainment systems. You have the ones with the scratch pad, that Don really doesn't like, because you have to take your eye off of things to watch your scratch
Right.
pad on the mouse.
Well, that's the dial, isn't
and
it?
then,
no,
no.
the-
This is actually a touchpad,
Like a
this.
mouse
Okay.
touchpad
Don't
on your
touch it.
computer.
And then you have the ones with the rotary dial, and then you have ones that seem to be a little bit more intuitive. The Stellantis one seems to be much more intuitive.
User friendly.
up till this year, and I'm going to read a story a little bit later on about that Stellantis has actually gone down with all of the problems that they're having with the upgraded Uconnect system.
Oh.
It's upgraded. Now, I did not have any problems when I drove the Ram truck that I could find. But remember, those are the same. It's the same system, if you will, that's also in the Dodge, the Hellcat, with all of the things the parameters that you can
Performance
change,
pages.
that you can change in there. Clearly, the Ram truck that I drove didn't have that on it. It wasn't the TRX with the 707 horsepower, so it didn't have that. And so when they test these things, I think that they test the whole shebang, and it brings down their reliability factor, initial quality survey. And, up until this year with the updated Uconnect system, it was really high up there and well thought of. But now with the revisions that they've made to the Uconnect system, it's brought them down. And it's like anything else. You introduce changes to something, and there are always going to be issues. Now, here's something that really surprised me. Guess which is the highest on the list, the highest rated single nameplate as far as dependability is concerned?
Mercedes.
No.
Yours? Your thought?
I'll go Honda.
You?
I was going to go Hyundai.
Porsche.
Ah,
And
Porsche.
Specifically the Porsche 911.
Most people
It's
can't
the
even say it.
Third time out of the past 4 years, and the second year in a row that Porsche's quintessential sports car has taken top honors. Porsche as a brand sits in 7th place, just behind Lexus and ahead of Dodge, just ahead of Dodge at 166. Anyway, at the very bottom of the list, your guesses?
Yugo.
Jaguar, Volvo,
You're close with the Jaguar.
Range Rover,
It is Land Rover.
Land Rover.
With a dismal score of 284.
Oh my gosh, that's double.
284. Yeah.
Where is it made?
Great Britain.
I
I don't think they have
assume
any
that it
US
is.
I don't think they have U.S. production.
Well, because that company, that Tata Motors owns them,
Right.
and Jaguar. Well, clearly Tata is an Indian company,
Right.
but that's where their headquarters is. I think that the manufacturing really hasn't changed.
No,
I think it's still in
Great Britain.
Mhm.
Well, they make tuk tuk too. The Tatas make tuk tuk. The little 3-wheeled.
I know exactly what a
We
tuk
did a
tuk
review
is.
on it. Yeah.
Well,
Have you ever driven a tuk tuk?
No, but I've driven.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
well, again, but this comes down to what you just mentioned: the level of technology that's in the car, and the expectation of the customer. A customer that's paying $80,000 to $120,000 for a Land Rover has very high expectations of what the vehicle is going to do. I find it interesting that the 911 is the best car out there.
Well, as far as dependability, and has the fewest issues.
Right.
So,
but
I
it
mean-
also has the least amount of what I call goofy technology. It doesn't have a whole lot of that user interface stuff. That is a sports car, simple and pure as a sports car, and it does all of that so well and has for generations. Those customers have high expectations of that being a sports car first and being a luxury car next. And I don't think they have great expectations of it being a luxury car.
The last time I drove a Porsche was when the Cayenne came out.
Oh,
What
yeah.
was that, in 2000
Six.
and something like that?
Because that was out before I left
Yeah,
GM.
they don't have much. The only ones I've ever driven were at one of the Auto Riders events. I've never driven one on the street per se. But again, I think Conrad's right. You got different expectations.
Are you still a member of the Texas Auto Writers Association?
Yes, sir.
You sit on the board of directors?
No, sir. I'm finally out of that deal.
Are you glad?
Just a plain game member now.
Really? Paying your own way to all the events?
Just a commoner.
I'm a commoner now.
Commoner.
Okay. Well,
I'm telling you what.
But, Cayenne is Porsche's number one selling vehicle. Porsche, the number one selling
Yeah, that's
vehicle,
what I said. Most people
Isn't
can't
that
even
is a
say it.
sport utility.
and remember when they came out with the SUV and
They got
everybody,
hammered.
everybody was up in arms. How could you do that? How could you possibly? And then they came out with the 4-door sedan, beautiful car, and it just kills it. I mean, it is just spot on.
Now they have the all EV version
Yeah.
of the four-door sedan.
I saw a Rolls-Royce SUV
Mhm.
last week. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Cullinan,
Something like
Cullinan.
That. Yeah,
Cullinan, yeah.
Yeah.
it was gorgeous.
And
Yeah.
then Bentley with the Bentayga.
Hmm.
Lamborghini has a
Yep.
SUV. I don't get me going on what the name of it is. So everybody recognizes that the SUV market has been good to Porsche. It's been good to all the other manufacturers, to the point of many manufacturers have dropped their sedans completely. And I'm going to talk about Ford and GM, to a large degree, have dropped most of their sedans and are building a variety of SUVs. And
Well,
that's what they're-
Stellantis is the same way. I mean, you can look at it and say, yeah, they still got the Charger, but that's more of the performance oriented. That's the only thing that's keeping that alive.
well, Charger, they still have Charger, Challenger.
Well,
I
the
think they
Challenger's
still-
not a sedan, though.
But I think they still do the 300, don't they?
They do, but again, I think that falls under that SRT umbrella.
Well, and there's a new program, the Direct Connection. That
Direct Connect.
Direct Connect.
Connection.
That's also a new program for them as well.
That's their
Yeah.
performance
Yeah.
program.
But I think that's kind of what's keeping those vehicles alive. Otherwise,
All they had is Jeep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, that's nothing. Jeep is Jeep. It's great.
Well, you mentioned Dodge Challenger. Dodge Challenger is going to get a special edition that runs only on E85, which I think will be fun for the short run. Sources say it'll have more horsepower than the 840 horse Demon.
But it will swallow gas.
Oh, the Demon swallows gas by itself. Now at E85, where you got to put more fuel in to create the same amount of power, it's going to. I bet you that's going to be under 10 miles to a gallon.
Yeah, of E85.
But they're talking somewhere in the 840 to 860 horsepower range, and then Direct Connection is going to
You
have
can add to it.
is going to have an add-on to it that they're saying it'll be over 900
Put a
horsepower.
blower on it.
And the reason for that is E85 is a higher octane than anything else because E100 is 113 octane fuel.
And then how much is that a gallon? Huh. $4.35 at the local place.
Yeah, it's
It-
generally about a quarter less than regular fuel is, but you don't want to run it in a vehicle that wasn't designed for it.
No, because it will chew up certain aspects of gaskets and
Well,
and
that-
rubber pieces.
Yeah, that for sure, but it just won't run right either because it's not tuned to put more fuel in it that's required when you run E85. Because again, the E85 has 72% of the BTUs, British thermal units, of E10. So gasoline has that much more energy in it than E85 does, and the car has to compensate for that. That's why you hear these guys, these tuners, talking about, oh, it's got an E85 tune in it. Well, that's great if you're running E85, but if you go to the gas pump and put, 90 E10 in it, it's going to run extremely rich.
Yeah, and it's not. Its brain doesn't understand that.
And in some instances, its brain can get reset. GM went through a period of time and they sold a ton of E85 vehicles where
I remember that period.
there wasn't the original
Flex fuel.
the flex fuel.
That's what it is.
The
Yeah.
original E85 vehicles from GM, on like the S10 and the old Suburbans, actually had a sensor on them that measured the alcohol content as the fuel flowed through it, and it could compensate for it. Well, in the third generation E85 vehicles, the flex fuel vehicles GM built, it would calculate it based on how much fuel you put in the tank, how empty the tank was, and what the oxygen sensor was saying. So it would sometimes get lost.
Great.
And you would the drivability would go to heck, and you would literally have to bring it into the dealership. The dealership would take a fuel sample, measure the alcohol content in the fuel, and then go in and reset your computer to the alcohol content that was in your tank at that moment.
I was going to say, because most people don't use the same gas station
Yeah.
and the same fuel all the time.
Exactly. So a high probability that it would get lost again. Eventually,
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Eventually, GM came out with a program change that did a little, substantially better job of managing the alcohol content. Because you got to remember, in a flex fuel vehicle, E85 it's capable of, but some people would run E10. And then that mixture of E85 and E10, and the car would show up with like E40 in the tank, and the vehicle's just lost. It doesn't know what to do to manage the air fuel ratio for E40, and that's why they would have to reset it. So,
and you take something like an older vehicle, like my parents' 2002 Honda Odyssey that they're still driving because it's only got 85,000 miles on it. You go up to Oklahoma from here, in Southeast Texas, where that's the only thing you can get is E85, and your gas mileage going up there may be 18, but coming back it's only like 14 because
and you're coming downhill.
and I'm coming downhill.
with the wind behind you.
Yeah, and because that computer is so old, it doesn't know how to compensate anything.
Right.
Well, I have to tell you that the Corvette did fine on its trip to Alabama.
Cool.
Oh, you took the Corvette to Alabama.
I took the Corvette to Alabama, and it got 26 miles per gallon. Now, granted, I didn't do the 60 miles an hour that I did on the Hot Rod Tour, where I got 30 miles per gallon. And there's a huge difference between 60 miles an hour in the car and 75 or 80.
Do you use the cruise control?
All the time,
Yeah.
as often as I can.
And that truly is the best way to get the best fuel economy if you kind of plan on some of those rises and stuff. Well, yours being a manual didn't really matter. It just lugged through it. But on the automatics, as you're going up some of the hills and stuff, if you kind of take it out of cruise control and foot feed it, it does a better job than the cruise control downshifting 2 or 3 gears on.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
no range anxiety or anything?
No range
Good, good,
anxiety.
good.
No.
Well, that was a good trip for the Corvette.
It was. It's an 8-hour drive with a couple of stops on the way, and
That's
it was
not
fun.
bad.
And
No.
what sent you to Alabama?
a little vacay, a little time
Getaway.
getaway. And so there's a place over there that I like to visit, and it's a resort community over in Mobile,
Wonderful.
right on the Gulf of Mexico and Mobile Bay.
Cool.
And it's a beautiful place that was originally built in 1847. Of course, that building is long gone, but it's still the same property.
Did you stay there too? Or?
Don't they
I
have
stayed there
a
too, yeah.
Don't they have a casino rolling through there?
No,
Is there
sir.
a place
no,
in there?
No, sir.
Maybe
Not
that's
that
a
I'm aware of.
Maybe that's a little further in because there is a casino once you get down on that beach road going through there.
Yeah, no. This is strictly
Okay.
it's a destination. You have to go there.
You have to be special
Specifically.
like Don.
There's no special. Well, special needs, I think, is probably more along
1847.
where it really
Mhm.
comes through.
There you go.
I need to turn the page here to see where we are. I think what we should do is, no, I don't want to do that just yet. There's a couple of other things I want to get to.
We got history and headlines.
I know that, and it's a little bit too early for all that, but we're going to get to that here in just a second. 7 steps to revive your car for driving season. Now, if you haven't done this already, you may be a little bit late, but people like to cram in vacations right before the summer's over with and the kids got to go back to school. Get in, around, and under your car. Most people just take it to the gas station, fill it up with gas, it's good to go. Probably not the best idea.
Well, we're all of an age to remember the ding ding when you ran over the hose and the guy would come out and he'd pop your hood and check your oil and check your belts. People don't do
Show
that
you the
anymore.
dipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
that's Don. But people don't do that anymore. When was the last time you, as a driver of your vehicle, opened up the hood and checked the level of oil in your vehicle? Probably not. Last time the oil got checked was the last time you got it changed.
Yeah.
Or you get the little the ratio on it.
the
so
little
many
light
percentage
on it says, right.
percentage of what you
So
got left.
you're exactly right. Do a little vehicle inspection every now and then. Helps.
Check your fluids, get to cleaning,
Mhm.
clean it up, get the vacuum cleaner out there. And the best way to get your car kind of smelling better, take out those nasty floor mats. So easy to do. Beat them up against the tree and knock all the dirt out of them, and then put them on the driveway. For me, this is what I do.
Pressure wash them.
Nope. Well, I don't have to do that even. Just take you some laundry powder or soap, liquid soap, whatever you use for your clothes. Drizzle a little bit on there, wet it down, get the broom out, broom it out, and then take the water hose and rinse it out with it hanging on the fence or whatever it is that you want to do, and let it dry for 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to the handheld car wash that you do yourself.
Mhm.
They have those little clips
Yeah.
on the wall where you can hang your floor mats out and hit them with the pressure
Yep.
washer
Yep.
to blow the dirt out of them.
Yeah, and it truly makes a huge difference. I know that every once in a while I'll get a car that I can tell has been off-road and it's full of dirt, and you can smell the dirt inside the car in the carpet. It's where the odor comes from, and it really makes a huge difference to clean those things. You don't have to buy new ones, just clean them. Test your brakes, because, one of the things that I've learned a long time ago, doesn't make any difference whether you got 1,000 horsepower, 10,000 horsepower. You ain't going to go anywhere except into something if the brakes don't work. And you might want to get those looked at.
Probably the most important safety feature of your vehicle.
Yeah,
the
and
brakes.
people forget them unless what is that chirping sound that I hear? Oh, the brakes are gone.
Oh, I could wait.
I can wait. Don't
Oh,
wait.
that's
It'll go
it's
away.
gone now.
Yeah, it'll go away. But listen, turn the radio up.
And plan for your trip. Make yourself a little note about the things that you need to get done to the car before you go.
Did you plan your trip to Alabama? I mean, I know you know the route, but did you look along the route ahead of time, looking for construction sites and how to get around certain things and where you
Well,
might
it came
stay
up on the
way?
phone when there was a great big backup, and it's so funny because you could tell that there had been an accident there probably within the hour, and all the traffic is still real slow and real heavy. And there were sections of I-10. I hate I-10. What a terrible freeway. Why doesn't somebody make that thing wider? Look at it here in Houston. It's
8 lanes each direction.
18,000 lanes until you get to downtown, and it goes down to two.
Well,
Who dreamed that up?
you know how long it took them to
It's
make
gonna-
it into 8 lanes out here going towards Katy?
Well, they're going to
Don't-
change it all downtown, but it's going to take them 20 years to do
Well,
it.
it took them 20 years to do that over there.
I think they're selling it to another country. They're taking the road and moving it.
Well, that's 288. That's owned by foreigners, and you're told
The tollways.
And your
the
tollways.
tollway,
Yep,
yeah, in
yep.
the middle of that's owned by a foreign company.
Which
Well,
is already paid
I
off.
understand on what's the what do they call the when you're driving over the swamp when you
Bridge.
get, no
Atchafalaya
the
Bridge.
Shafalaya Bridge. They now have cameras up there
Yes.
that will time you from point to point and mail you a speeding ticket.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Yeah.
There's
And so
nothing
what
like a good
happens when
car chase.
everybody's speeding?
It's called revenue generation.
Let me tell you something, because everybody that I was in packs of cars, we're all going the same speed
Oh
limit.
yeah.
Qualifying.
I will tell you
Daytona.
what happens later on. You get stopped over there, and that officer walks up there and says, "You've got a warrant out for a
You're-
speeding ticket.
That you
Give
have,
me your license or follow me. That's your two choices. Oh, you don't have any money? Give me your license."
now, how would you know that, Mars?
His mom told him.
Rumors, you're a liar.
His mom.
His mom told him.
Mom told him.
Okay, time now for this week in auto history.
Dun, dun, dun.
That would be your cue.
In 1894.
I remember it well.
In 1894,
Probably do.
Elwood Haynes successfully tested a 1-horsepower, 1-cylinder vehicle, and he drove up to 7 miles an hour in Kokomo, Indiana. It was one of the very first automobiles built, and it is the oldest American-made automobile in existence,
Huh.
and it is currently on exhibition at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., at the Transportation Museum. In 1928, the Chrysler Corporation introduced what? 1928, Plymouth.
Very cool.
Plymouth was the newest car of the day in
I would have
1928.
never guessed that.
And the Plymouth project had taken 3 years to complete as Chrysler engineers worked to build a reliable and affordable car to compete with the cheaper offerings of Ford and General Motors. Interesting thing is, the original Plymouth logo was a
The
boat.
Mayflower. The Mayflower.
It was a sailboat. Considering the Mayflower
Right.
and the Plymouth Rock
Nina
was
Pinto
where the
and
name
It's
came
a
Santa
boat
Maria.
crashing on the rocks.
And
Well,
then-
at least it's not an arm sticking out
Yeah.
there.
Well, and you remember John Hovis out at Hemi Hideout has one of these
Yes.
early
Yeah.
Plymouth dealership signs.
Yeah.
In 1957, Fiat launched the Nuva 500 Cinquecento in Turin, which was designed by Dante Giuseppe.
Ooh la la!
I usually do this to Jeff. Whenever
I
Jeff
know.
gets this, I always give him all these weird names to have to pronounce.
Thank you,
Well, I did it
Conrad.
to myself. It was
Ooh la
marketed as a cheap and practical town car, measuring only 9 feet long, powered by a 479cc two-cylinder air-cooled engine.
It's for a small town, right?
The 500 redefined the term city car, and very popular. They sold a bazillion of them in Europe. I don't think it really ever sold very well here in the United States. In 1958, talking about cars that didn't sell in the United States, the final production line of the Trabant started in Saxony. It was considered to be the East Germans' answer to the Volkswagen. The engine for the Trabant was a small two-cylinder engine, giving the vehicle modest performance of 25 horsepower. I have a lawnmower with more horsepower than that. From a 600cc displacement. The car took 21 seconds to go from 0 to 60.
That's because it.
And it smoked like a mosquito fogger.
What-
They were horrible little two-strokes.
What do I always say? Put an LS in it. And tub
Put an
it.
LS in
Yeah.
it and tub it.
Yeah.
In 1962, the United States Patent Office issues the Swedish engineer Niles Bohlin a patent for his 3-point safety belt system
Niles.
for use in production vehicles. And, you got to remember, patenting products is a way to generate personal income, because when you have a patent, people buy the license for the patent.
Right.
This man and the Saab Engineering was so open to the industry, he never held for licensing. He freely offered his patent to all vehicle manufacturers. In 2004, Suzuki Motor Company settled with Consumers Union on a lawsuit over the Suzuki Samurai being prone to rollover. If you remember the Samurai back in the day, they were claimed to be prone to rollovers. And then in 2007, Fiat released the 500 Nuvo again.
Oh.
It was launched exactly 50 years after the original Fiat 500. And I believe they still sell them to this day.
Well, they try to.
And this week, Ringo Starr
Yep.
was 82 years old.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
That
Happy
is this
birthday.
week in auto
Well,
history.
thanks for bringing that up. Remind me how old I am.
I didn't say a word.
I know you didn't
said it
have to.
yourself.
Oh, y'all
Time for a-
born the same time?
Okay, that's enough out of you.
Oh, you just got turned down. Uh-oh.
Time for a quick break, but we'll be right back here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Lupi's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rod, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Houston racer Alec Udell. Hey, looking for a used car bargain? Jeff has a used SUV that I'll bet you haven't ever thought about. Conrad has the car clinic, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Straight ahead on this edition of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, literally. King Conrad DeLong. We need more, Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, or I'm pretending to be Don Armstrong. He's out for the day.
Out to lunch.
Exactly.
Well, he hasn't even made it out of bed yet. So
Is it a liquid lunch?
It was a liquid.
it was a liquid
dinner.
dinner, I think
okay.
it was. Yeah. So
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it was bad.
Pace yourself.
Tequila's not an alcohol. Tequila's a drug.
I thought it was a salve. I rubbed it all over, and it
gateway
just
drug.
Yeah, it was bad.
And you were trying to exfoliate with the salt on the rim. Oh,
Yep. Oh,
I like. What a great idea. Yes, exfoliate.
Tequila exfoliation.
is that like a detox thing that the other the?
I don't think it's
I
detox.
think it's the tox part of it. You got to tox before you detox.
That's right. Yeah, just take that salt and just rub it right on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Isn't the Mediterranean very salty with the?
No, that's
the Dead Sea.
the Dead Sea,
Oh, the
and
Dead
that could
Sea.
be very
Well,
appropriate.
I know about dead because
And then
I
there's-
am today.
There's some Jamaican soup.
There is-
Where'd it go? It's gone.
yeah,
Thank
Are we
goodness.
having
yes.
that for lunch?
No.
Yes, we could.
Don can.
Yeah. Jeff brought in some
Soup.
soup mix that has a very interesting name. You may have seen
Available at Kroger's.
88 cents a pack.
88 cents a pack.
Big display.
it. Was it a big
And I
display?
think it's 67 cents if you use your Kroger card.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they give you a discount.
Yeah, they do.
That's great. Okay, well, shall we talk
Let's go.
about shall we
Let's talk to Alec.
talk about cars now?
Food.
Let's talk about racing. So,
Let's talk
Join-
about Alec.
Alec Udell, local racer, and did he get hit? Is he still not video wise?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
he
all
just-
audio.
So
Just audio.
that's fine because we are a radio show and the audio is just video is just kind of a follow along kind of thing.
Yeah. It's an
Bouncing
added
ball.
plus.
Follow the bouncing ball.
That's right. So Alec Udell, thank you so much. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well this morning, guys.
Well,
thanks
you
for having
are,
me on.
except your internet's not apparently.
Well, yeah, I was out on a bike ride with a friend this morning, and I had a flat, so it took us a little while to repair that. So I'm mid trail, basically.
Now
It's
you mean to tell me that a famous race car driver like yourself gets out and fixes his own flat tire?
He didn't have his pit crew with him.
Yeah, well, I understand now why the pro cyclists have bands of bikes that they follow along with. So I'm working on that for the next time.
Yeah, and I'm amazed because I've watched a little bit of this Tour de France stuff that all of those cars and motorcycles going through don't just mow over a bicyclist every now and then. Because, I mean, there's got to be 100+ support vehicles that are riding around with them and weaving through them. But
Yes.
so you don't have somebody following you with 3 bicycles on top of their roof. If you
Unfortunately, not. But I think I can work my way up to it.
So
you know,
tell us.
I know what a good pit crew should look like.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell us what's going on in your life right now as far as motorsports goes.
Sure. So I've been doing quite a lot of, coaching like I always do with the Porsche Cup race team. We're doing really well with the championship here, leading the championship in the Carrera Cup Series in North America. And then I've been driving in the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge as well in a Cayman, in the new GT4 RS. And then I've been working with, we talked about it a little while ago, is the Steer by Wire company on getting them into the IMSA Racing Series here as well in a Mercedes GT3. So a few different projects, and of course, always working on the next season stuff at this time of the year. So, you know, it's crazy to look. It's already the second half of the year, so we're already looking towards 2023.
Trying to line up sponsors and teams for you to run with.
Yes, exactly.
So how is your Steer by Wire program going? I know that has to be kind of a challenge to get IMSA to approve that kind of technology on a racetrack.
Yes, and so that technology has been running on racetracks in Europe since 2019. It runs in DTM right now in the main class there, which is really exciting. And so yes, it is a challenge bringing it over and kind of bridging that gap. So that's what we've been working on and having negotiations and all kinds of things. And so we've basically been able to push through on the series technical side to have them approve everything, and now it's a matter of getting all the manufacturers to agree on the way that the car will be implemented into the class. And so that's kind of the next stage of our process here.
So as that spreads over various manufacturers, is it going to be one system spread over various manufacturers, or will each manufacturer have their own variant?
No, it's one system. It's what we call an add-on system, so it can be put onto anything. I mean, the cool piece of that system is you could put it on an 18-wheeler or a Mercedes race car. It's the same system across. It's just different steering input devices that you match up with whatever application it's put into. So in the race car, it's the same across all platforms.
Okay, well, that keeps it simple as far as the technology itself. It's just build one system and let everybody adapt it to their vehicle. And yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that there is steer-by-wire in the retail industry as well. I think Infiniti has had that for a number of years on one of their vehicles with a steer-by-wire system.
Yes, so Infiniti, I believe, had the QX80, and that one was interesting because it had basically a magnetic clutch. So in the event of a failure, you still had a mechanical connection essentially in case the steering system had a malfunction for some reason. So
let me just add to that in the fact that this is a story that came out through Automotive News. Lexus's new yoke style steering, have you seen it? Looks funky, kind of like an Indy car, and it drives a little funky too. But the Japanese premium brand plans to advance the technology by combining jet-age looks with an advanced, ultra-precise steer-by-wire system in the upcoming RZ all-electric crossover. So it's going to be available to the public now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so it's something that's coming. It makes the manufacturing process easier for the manufacturers because you don't have to have a steering column, and you can place the steering wherever you want in the car, which, of course, when you're looking at left-hand drive, right-hand drive vehicles, it makes it a lot more
production-wise,
for how you want to apply that system. So
that's just weird.
Hey, and then
it's an exciting. It's really exciting. It's cool from the. Yeah, go ahead.
And then eventually you could probably have it clip in and clip out to both sides, and you could disconnect it and put it in the back seat for your mother-in-law for the back seat driver.
I was thinking the same thing. But then you get in accidents.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
He agreed.
So how have you have you been doing in GT4 in the Cayman?
Cool thing with it is the.
Go ahead, Alec.
In GT4, we've been. Yeah, sure. No, GT4, we've had a bit of a growing season. It's a new program. I'm racing with Kelly Moss Road and Race, and so we've had. I think our best result has been like a top 10 so far, and so that's making progress. But we've done a partial season as we've been building the team and building a program around the car that we're working on. So with Kelly Moss, we're building the endurance racing program again. They've been very, very strong in the Porsche Cup Championship and the One Make Series in the last few years, winning 5 championships there. And so we're working on expanding that program out. So we've it's been a building year, but the performance is there. We're just working on the executional side on pit stops and the kind of strategy that comes in when you go into endurance racing.
Cool.
So what kind of a car is it?
It's a Cayman GT4.
A Cayman, okay.
Yeah,
which is the
that
Porsche
new GT4 RS that just came out.
I see.
And
okay.
they finally put the big motor in the Cayman as part of the GT4 package, I believe. It's got the 3.6 in it, correct?
We've got a 4-liter in it.
Oh, well, see, even more power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's an awesome car. It sounds great too.
Yeah. So what kind of tracks do you run the car on? Road courses, obviously.
Yeah, road courses. So our last race was up at Watkins Glen. Then next we go to race at Road America.
So typically when IMSA runs the DPI cars and the GTD cars on Sunday, you guys generally are running the Saturday prior to that, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, I've kind of looked for you on the entry lists and stuff, and haven't seen enough of you. So we want to see a lot of you at the track.
Oh, I know. I believe me. I agree. I've been there, just haven't always been in a car, but yeah, the next few events we're in it. And if you're looking for it, we've got a big happy Buddha on the side of the car.
Well, or you might just wave at us when you go by, so
Yeah, that'd
that
be a good
Conrad
idea.
can see you.
A
you know.
big
Might wave. I'll
happy-
flash the lights. How's that?
There you go.
A big happy
It'd be hard to
Buddha.
see inside the car with the
So,
windows.
as a race car driver, how
Sure.
are those two tracks? Start with the Road America first.
Yeah, Road America is an awesome track. I think, it's one of the most historical, or maybe one of the most well-known tracks in North America, just because it's the longest circuit. You've got really, really long straightaways, high commitment, with the kink, and it's just an awesome track for a driver because it really challenges you. There's a bunch of high-speed, high-flowing sections, some really tight corners, and then some really long duration. The carousel there is really long, and you have a bunch of different ways that you can drive it. So there's not just one way that you can race that track, and there's a lot of opportunity for passing, which makes it really fun to race on.
And is the track smooth?
The track is not so smooth, actually. There's rumors that it's going to be repaved this year in October and November.
So it's got some bad spots in it that you really got to drive across.
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking at the track map, turn 12 or Canada Corner, that one's pretty bumpy in the braking zone and coming out of it. Yeah, it's a fun track. It's really old school. There's a lot of risk that you can take at the track, which sometimes pays off or sometimes turns into a big incident. But yeah, I really enjoy racing there.
So is the not problem, but are the issues with the track caused by degradation of the surface or caused by ground movement that's changed the bumpiness of the track?
Sure. I think there's a little bit of both. There's some places where they've actually repaved parts of the track because there was, pavement that's coming up off of the track, which tends to happen. I don't know when the last time the surface was redone. But you've got, NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA that all runs there. And so it really takes a big beating, especially with, the IndyCars put quite a lot of load into the track and really are hard on the pavement. And then when you get NASCAR running, they've got 40 cars, or IMSA's running, you've got 40 or 50 cars running continuously. And when the pavement gets really hot and, the temperatures that we race there during the year, usually it's hot. It's just really tough on the pavement there. So part of it's track degradation. And then there are some places where you're actually starting to get like undulations in the pavement. So that's the base underneath moving a little bit.
And what about the track?
Watkins Glen?
Yeah. What did I say? Watkins Glen, Road Atlanta, or I don't remember which one you said.
Yeah, Watkins Glen. We'll race at Road Atlanta later in the year. The Glen is awesome. That track is so flowing. It's really high speed. There's no corner where you're below third gear, so you're always 80 mile an hour plus on the track, which is just really a really fun track to race on. There's a lot of camber. Each corner has an increasing radius as well, so as a driver you just feel like, oh, this is the place to run at. And it's so flowing. There's guardrails all around the track too, which for me I really enjoy because it really makes you be precise with the track that you're racing on, and you really just have to focus on the places where you want to be and not be looking outside the track at all. So I love it. There's the bus stop is a lot of fun. You're clobbering the curbs there and then flying down into the carousel, kind of all downhill up to the toe of the boot. And yeah, the track is, for me, that's one of my favorites to drive on, just because it is such a flowing, high speed, and just a fun track to drive.
Clobbering the curbs. That's
Oh, yeah.
I have to remember that.
Well, it's like putting bumpers on a
Technical
bowling alley
racing term.
with the guardrails.
I think it's worse than that. I think when you clobber a curb, you better be ready for the suspension changes as you land, because
Yeah, no
you're
kidding.
kind of getting a little air in it. And generally in the series that you run in, Alec, you guys do run the long course. They don't cut the boot off like they do in NASCAR.
That's correct. Yeah, we run the long course in that series.
And what an
sports car series.
And what an iconic track it is, and so much history it has with going all the way back to, I guess, the F1 days way back when, and so many different drivers have had success there, and a lot of drivers have had, significant
success,
failure there
yeah.
as well. Yeah, I remember some of
Yeah,
them.
and it's a really cool the downtown area where they used to run the race is really cool. When you're walking along the like the sidewalks, they've got all the names of race winners from the 50s all the way up to the 80s, and so it's cool to just kind of soak in the history, and not to mention that area of the country is just beautiful. You're right on the Finger Lakes there. I think it's Seneca Lake.
Mhm.
And kind of the hills and countryside. It's a gorgeous place to be.
Do they have Alec Udell Way there?
No, not yet. I think it takes about 20 years after your career is done for them to bring you into the
Oh, and
the road
you're
sign
still a
area.
young pup. That'll be a while, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got another 20 years ahead of me.
So next time you're on track, are you going to do the endurance race at Road Atlanta? Is that the next plan, or are you going to get a chance to get on
No,
track
our next
at Road
race
America?
is at the end of this month or the beginning of August at Road America.
And you'll be on track?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. We'll be racing there.
So it won't be one of those where he's going to sit on the sidelines and watch
And
the
coach.
other guys. Yeah, coach. or
Well,
whatever.
coaching
I
sometimes
do some of
is-
that on the race weekends too, but I'll also get to drive and go run my own race, which is a lot of fun.
So when you coach the drivers who are on track, do you do that when they come out of the car, or do you do that in their ear while they're on track?
A bit of both. Just depends on the type of environment that's going on. But on the race weekends, I'll be on the radio, kind of giving them, positioning, where they're at, who they're fighting against on track. If they're catching, if we need to push a bit, if there's a pit stop, I'll kind of call strategy on pit stop, depending on who I'm working with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all kinds of things.
Pretty-
For the one make series, there's pit stops sometimes, like in the Super Trofeo series, and so I'm usually in there calling strategy to make sure that we get out in clear air and all.
In
all
the
that type
Super
of stuff.
Trofeo series. He says that like it means nothing. No, Super Trofeo means you're driving a Lamborghini as fast as you can on a track, and it's like, oh, it doesn't mean anything to Alec. It would mean everything for me just to go for a ride with you in one of those.
Sure, yeah,
But that ain't
those
gonna
cars are
happen
pretty
either.
awesome. They sound great and really fly around the track.
Did you happen to see the new Cadillac that they're going to race? I guess it's DPI next year.
Yeah, and so that's actually going to be called.
Hybrid?
Oh shoot. Yes, I have seen the Cadillac. It looks great. I think it's going to be an awesome car, and it's going to be called GTP. So they're throwing it back to like the 80s, 70s, and 80s, when
P for
that-
prototype.
yeah, for prototype. So they're the new regulations for LMDH is the worldwide regulations, and then in IMSA it's going to be called GTP.
But the car will be capable or rules ready to go to Le Mans,
That's correct. Yeah.
where the current platforms they're driving are not rules ready to go to Le Mans.
Yep. And so there's the Cadillac looks great. Of course, they all have these, camouflage liveries on them, so it's hard to tell exactly what it looks like. But I'm excited to see those more and more coming out. I know the Porsche one was on track, beginning of this year. The BMW one I think is coming as well. Lamborghini is doing one too. So there's a lot of manufacturers that are jumping on this LMDH kind of regulations and this new rule set that's going to be in place for the next foreseeable future.
Well, Alec, it's great to talk to you. Good to catch up with you. Good luck on your next event at the end of the month. And let's check in after you get done with that, shall we?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Well, thanks again. And we
Thanks
look
for the
forward.
time, guys.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Always fun to talk to Alec. He's a great young man and has quite a successful racing career ahead of him.
Time now for the In-Wheel Time racing calendar. How
Speaking of racing,
convenient is that?
so next weekend is the Mile High Nationals at Bandimere Speedway for NHRA.
All right.
And this is the start of the Western Swing. So next weekend is Mile High. The weekend after that is Sonoma. The weekend after that is Northwest Nationals in Seattle, which is the first time they've been back there in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's a
It
weird
is,
place.
yeah.
That
Is it-
is one weird place.
Just because it's Seattle? Or,
Well, that, and it's also a drag strip not unlike East Tex Dragway in Porter used to be, where they took a saw and cut down the trees just enough to put a half mile or a quarter mile drag strip in the middle of the trees. And when you went there, you parked underneath the remaining trees and you walked up to the fence and watched the cars go down the track.
Oh,
Didn't you
gosh.
post something?
Yeah, we did a little talk
Yeah.
to some people and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
pictures about East Tex. And I loved going there whenever we could.
And
Yeah.
then NASCAR, they were at Road America last weekend for 4th of July. And I thought it was a very good race. But this weekend, they're in Atlanta. Next weekend, they're in New Hampshire. The following weekend, on the 24th, they're in Pocono. And then the 31st of July, they'll be at Indianapolis running the Brickyard 400, which is kind of their series, their big race in the middle of the year. Formula One will be at the Austrian Grand Prix this
Oh,
weekend.
yippee.
And that is the shortest course,
Good.
the shortest track. You are just such an F1
I
hater.
heard Hamilton already won that race.
And, well, Hamilton podium for the first time in quite some time.
Good
Or
for
this
him.
year.
Nice.
And then the
Because he threw so many fits because he wasn't up there.
no, I think that Mercedes has struggled with their new chassis and
Oh.
all the rules changes,
Oh.
which I think were targeted at Mercedes
Yes.
to slow them down.
Yeah.
Thank you. No,
And then
well,
on the 24th, the French Grand Prix, and then the 31st, the Hungarian Grand Prix. IMSA is going to be at Lime Rock next weekend, and like Alex said, they're going to be at Road America on the 7th of August. IndyCar is at Toronto next weekend. They're at Iowa on the 23rd, and at Nashville on August 7th. And then Formula E, which are the electric cars, kind of like driving around in a slot car, is going to be on the 17th of July in the streets of New York City.
yeah.
So not only can
New
you
York or
can-
Manhattan?
Manhattan. It says New York City. I'm assuming it's
Does it
Manhattan.
matter?
Yeah, well, think about how fast those pit stops are going to be. Cars are going to go by at 70 miles an hour. It's 170 miles an hour, and people will be changing the tires on it on the way by.
Stealing
stealing
the
them.
tires.
Stealing
Yeah,
them.
that's so they
Shooting
can
at
dodge
you.
all the shootings and everything.
There you go. But
You-
those are fun to watch.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You done?
Yeah, it's not fun to listen to because they're quiet.
All right.
Don,
Well,
They put
what?
make Jeff start at the beginning.
No.
Yeah, he's cheating.
Is he cheating?
I'm
He's
cheating.
cheating.
They put playing cards in the tires and the spoke.
Yeah.
How's that go again?
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Time now for our used car of the week.
There
Go
it is.
back to the beginning, Jeff.
I have no control over this. I'm not controlling it.
That would be.
You want me to come over there and
No,
control it?
That would be Conrad's got
See,
his
Conrad
hand
knows
on
what
it.
he's doing.
Conrad,
Don't
start
touch
at the
No,
beginning.
he's got his hand on the controller. Let me make that specific. Let me
There you go.
clear. I want to be sure that it's the hand on the
There
controller.
you go.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Here we
All
go,
Okay,
Jeff.
this is
At the
roll
start.
it. Roll
Okay,
it.
so the used car of the week is the 2017 Jaguar F-Pace
Shaggin' wagon.
SUV.
Yep.
There it is.
You turned it off.
No, it just rolled. I'm not touching it. 2017 Jaguar F-Pace SUV. There's two models. There's an F-Pace and then there's an S. So that's what you got. We're going to do the F-Pace. It is an SUV. It's a 5-passenger vehicle. Exterior features. It does have classy styling. It's a typical Jaguar front grille that you see because they all have that now in the large, sort of like a Lexus. Sleek SUV design.
Beautiful.
It is. It's a good looking vehicle. The black ones, I don't know about the black ones. They're kind of weird. It's got 14 exterior colors, which is cool.
14.
14 exterior colors.
Lord.
I said it. Yep. Interior highlights of this vehicle. You've got the front buckets. Both of the buckets are 8-way power, adjustable, heated and cooled as an option. Split folding rear seats. You can move that along. Split folding rear seats. They have rear ventilation, which is a good airflow for the ducks in the back.
They got ducks in the back?
The air ducts.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, when you go hunting.
Come on.
Mediterranean, the Meridian premium sound speakers, 2 interior colors, and Conrad, this is for you. It's got a diversity antenna.
The diversity
A
antenna.
diversity antenna.
The
I
hell
looked
is
at
that?
it.
Well, that's why it's
mul-
got 14 colors.
Yeah, it's like a rainbow. It's a multi-purpose antenna. Getting to the power plant of this monster, it is a 3-liter V6 supercharged dual overhead cam, all-wheel drive. It is rated at 340 horsepower at 6,500 RPM. In the S model, you can get 380.
At 6,500 RPM, that is wound out.
Yeah, it's wound
Yeah,
out.
you got to wind it up.
332 foot-pounds at 4,500, and it does have an optional 4-cylinder diesel available. It is an 8-speed
Jaguar.
shiftable automatic, and 18 city, 23 highway, 20 combined. It's got a 16-gallon fuel tank, and that at $4.50 a gallon is $72. 4-wheel independent suspension, 4-wheel ABS, stability control, electronic steering, Alec, and it's basically 5 years, 60,000 mile on the warranty, 28,000 to 34,000 pre-owned, under 100,000 miles, depending on condition.
Well, that's
I
pretty
would
good.
not want to own one over 100,000 miles.
Absolutely.
The maintenance cost of that would be phenomenal.
There's the Porsche SUV, the Mercedes SUV GLC, and then, of course, the Acura RDX are comparable. This is an all-wheel drive, so you would have to tub out all 4 wheels. Pros on this: spacious back seat cargo area, sharper design, better than most in the class. Supercharged V6, 4-cylinder price, fuel efficiency on the diesel option, and the cons are the gas isn't as efficient as some of the others in this class. The firm ride over broken pavement or rough pavement, you
Yeah,
got a firm
it
ride.
does have a stiff ride.
And then the V6, the exhaust, they say, is a little loud in some cases.
And I would think the struggle to get it worked on, because you're going to have people who understand how to work on that, and that's not going to be every shop. You're going to have somebody who's got experience doing not just Jaguars, but doing the F-Pace.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be hard to find.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for being you.
And
Put
it's
it
gonna
up
be
there
hot
one
out.
more time.
It's going to be hot out.
No, he's got
No.
control of that.
I'll take that thing.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show streams on the iHeart app, Facebook, YouTube, at InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on your favorite podcast channel. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this
Oh,
quick
boy.
break. Stay with us. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeartRadio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we play Go Fish.
Yeehaw.
Conrad has the In Wheel Time Car Clinic. We'll also have this week's automotive news. 2 segments of that since we missed it in the last hour. Howdy along with Mike out of this world, Mars. King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Cheers.
Always. I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you very much for joining us on this Saturday. It is Saturday, isn't it?
All day
Did we
long.
finally make it out of Friday?
Barely.
I don't know how, but at any rate. Hey, I wanted to start this segment off with some recalls that we have. And
There's some dingers out there, too.
yeah, there are. So the Nissan Pathfinder from 2013 through 2016 is being recalled because of a malfunctioning hood latch. Whoops. There goes the hood right in front of us as we're doing 70 miles an hour down the freeway.
If that's what it's doing, it's opening?
Well, it's malfunctioning. They didn't say specifically what it was, but it's
safety
malfunctioning.
catch on it.
Well, there's generally, and they did this years ago, there's 2 hood latches.
Mm-hmm.
There's a secondary and a primary. If the primary is failing, generally it's hard to get to open. If the secondary is failing, that tends to be where it flops
The
up
danger.
into the windshield. Yeah.
Danger zone.
The brand new, all-new Toyota Tundra and Tundra Hybrid is being recalled for 2022. The axle shaft may separate. That's
Ooh,
not good.
that's not good.
Separated.
Cadillac XT5 and XT6 and the GMC Acadia for 2022. The fuel tank rollover valve may not properly seal. Now, how would you know that? Unless you rolled it over.
Well, that's something they test, and I'm sure in some accident somewhere when the vehicle did get on its side or rolled over, the fuel came out and it got reported, because that's definitely safety.
Kia Sorento Hybrid and Sorento PHEV, which is a partial PHEV.
Plug-in hybrid.
For 21 and 22, seatbelt pretensioners may explode.
That's what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
Only on impact.
Well, yeah, you did that a couple weeks ago. They're still having that issue.
Yeah, well, I've had that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Exploding seats.
Mm-hmm. Inadequate front windshield bonding
Oops.
is a problem with the Ford Bronco and Ford Ranger for 2022.
That's not
What?
good. Because
Also, the 2022 Ford F-150 BEV. What's that one, Mars? Mr. Know-It-All.
That's the battery F-150.
Battery electric. Yeah, battery electric. The, okay,
Vehicle.
so,
Yeah, that's
but they
their
don't
new
call
one.
it the Lightning here. Anyway, the
On
TPMS
purpose.
light may not illuminate.
Which
tire
one?
pressure monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you heard Ford is
Wait a
expanding.
minute, I'm not done
Okay.
yet. Nissan Frontier and Nissan Titan for 2020 through 2022. Unsecured transmission may cause a rollaway. Also,
So they're following in Ford's footsteps.
so, Hyundai's seatbelt
God.
pretensioners may explode on the Hyundai Venue for 2020 and
Makes me wonder
2022.
if that's shared with the other seatbelt pretension.
Kind of like
Bet you
the
it
Takata
is.
airbag
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah. Okay, now it's your turn. Sorry.
So you heard Ford is expanding the recall of their SUVs, telling owners to park them outside after a series of engine fires that can happen even when the ignition is turned off. The company announced Friday that it's recalling over 100,000 SUVs in the U.S. for different problems that also cause engine fires. Ford originally recalled 39,000 Expeditions and Navigators in the U.S., and it has now added to that 66,000 more SUVs all the way back to the up to the 2021 model year, with reports of fires starting. So, or excuse me, not fires, a thermal event.
Thermal
There you
event,
go.
yeah. Matter of fact, I have that story, and I want to take it out of my stack of stories. I got a bunch of stuff today. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's interesting. GM recalled the Chevy Bolt because it could catch fire and told people not to park it inside their garage.
Mhm.
And now Ford's coming out with this, and this is purely gas powered. And don't park it in your garage because your car may catch fire.
Don't park it next to your electric vehicle.
Because both of them will
Yeah.
burn down.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's I finally found it down this list here in the Ford recalls. Okay, I got that.
And did you also hear Honda is facing a class action lawsuit alleging that some of their vehicles have a speaker defect that causes a loud and unpredictable popping noise from the speaker system when the sound system is turned off? I think this is just insanity. The alleged speaker defect also causes no sound to be emitted from the speaker system when the audio system is playing, according to the class action lawsuit. The plaintiff says this defect is safety related because the defect occurs abruptly and unpredictably, and the driver may become startled and distracted, which poses a safety risk in the class action lawsuit.
Yikes.
Now, you've heard me talk about class action lawsuits. Now, this is 2020 through 21 pilots, passports, and Odysseys. Class action lawsuits make the attorneys rich and get the class action owners $50.
Yep.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, that's the class actions are never about the problem. It's always about the attorney making a killing.
Earlier in the show today, we talked about J.D. Power ratings and all of that, and I think I mentioned to you about RAM and the infotainment system
Right.
that they have updated the Uconnect. Well, RAM burnished its 2022 lineup with the new Uconnect 5 infotainment system that puts an emphasis on personalization for passengers. This is a story from Automotive News. But the added bells and whistles came with a cost for the truck brand. In the latest J.D. Power initial quality study, RAM dropped from first place in 2021 to 18 this year
Oh boy.
after being dinged in the infotainment category. That has perplexed many automakers in the era of touchscreens and voice
More than
controls.
a ding.
J.D. Power said it was the largest fall ever for a brand that led the industry the previous year. Infotainment hiccups slammed other manufacturers as well in 2022, accounting for 6 of the top 10 problem areas in the J.D. Power study. Consumers complained about Android Auto, Apple CarPlay connectivity, built-in voice recognition, which is it's a joke, difficulties with touch screens and other display screens, and built-in Bluetooth systems. Amen, amen, amen.
It is more than a ding. It's more like a dong.
Yeah.
So
A ding
and
dong.
and
Ding dong.
that was their 5.
I'm not going to read the whole story. I don't want
No,
to
I just-
bore you
I-
with all of that.
No. I just thought 5 was doing pretty good when they first popped it out.
Well, and I didn't have any trouble, but like I said, when I told you guys last hour, I didn't have any trouble, but I didn't go through the entire thing. Can you imagine me going through every working item on a vehicle when I do a review? My God, it would take me a whole day to go through all that stuff, and I'd have to break out the dang
Book
book,
and
read it, because some of them are extremely complicated.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a book, you may have to go online.
That's true.
Because they don't put books in them anymore.
That's
Well,
right.
and if you
Or
think
Moroni.
about that, the customer who has had 3 Rams and now gets the newest one, and he's like, oh my gosh, they changed the system? What are they thinking? That worked so well before, and then they will ding them on that.
But in their defense, it's still the same system, and it still works very similar to the old system. They've added things. They've moved some screens around. So, remember, in the one that I had the optional big 12-inch
Right.
screen. It's seriously, it is
It's
a
like an
foot
iPad.
long.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's beautifully done. It's well integrated into the dash. And
as opposed to those things that are popped on top that look like it was bolted on
An
after
aftermarket
after it
glued
was
in,
styled,
on the
yeah.
dash.
yeah. And there's a reason. I understand why they do it, to get it up into your eyesight so it's easier to touch and move things around if you want to change the radio station or whatever. I got that. But I think that there's a better way to do it than just to set the screen on the top of the dash. That's just my opinion. Some of those things are just absolutely horrible when it comes to, and Lexus makes a great car, but the way that you control their screen with the
Scratch
touchpad,
pad, right?
yeah, you call it a scratch pad. It's like a mouse pad. That, and then the ones with the knob, and you've got to run it through all of the different things to
Pages.
get down. Then you press it. It's totally total distraction from driving.
And that's what my wife has in her Mercedes GLC 300.
It is.
Is the rotating knob, and then you tap the knob to
It's
select stuff.
I don't understand why you would. Who approves this stuff?
Well, Angie's become very used to it, but Angie doesn't use much of it. I bet you she uses less than 5% of what
But she's
is
of the.
available
But
to
yes,
them.
but she's of the age group that only uses probably 5%
Right,
of
right,
what's
right.
available on there. As do I. I mean, I set my radio stations. I may use the navigation, but I will tell you this: some of the
And he calls Katie for help with some of those things.
Yeah,
That's why he's got to have it.
no, I let Katie try. Katie, tell me what you think of this, and she'll. No, this is my astrophysicist daughter, and she's boom, 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 boom. It comes natural to her, and she said, "Well, Dad, I don't remember which car it was. You might remember, but she said that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen."
Well, what was it you had for the wedding? You had a vehicle for that was the one.
Was that the one?
Was it Mercedes?
I don't recall, to be honest with you.
I think, Mike, we should, as a group, everybody come back after our hiatus next week with our own interior design. Each one of us design our own interiors for a vehicle.
Listen, the most of the designs are pretty good. This Kia that I just got delivery of on Thursday is really, it's stunningly. I think it's an attractive vehicle. It's unique. You can tell that it is a Kia. It's not just a stamped out another SUV. This has got some distinction to it.
Lines, yeah.
Yeah, and that screen in there goes from this side over here, front of the driver, that includes the instrument cluster in same screen as the infotainment screen. That screen's got to be that wide.
Mhm.
Can you imagine how much it would cost to replace that?
Well,
It's
and,
one screen.
and think about the other part of that is, at what point can you not replace it?
Oh,
Seven,
you-
7 years from now,
You
Not even that
they're
long.
not. Yeah, they're not going to service it. Well, yeah, look at your brake system. But 4, 5, 6 years from now, that's not going to be in production anymore, and they're probably not going to make service parts for it, and you're just going to have to throw the truck out.
pretty much, because it has everything in it. It controls everything, and it's pretty bizarre. It does not have a volume control on the screen or the dash. No
It's on the
volume
steering wheel?
control. There's one thing over here on the steering wheel. So at least that I've found. So your passenger wants to turn down the volume. No, it's over here on this side of my steering wheel.
Well, anytime I've ridden with you, anytime I reach for the dash, you always slap my hand anyhow.
Yeah, sort of like when
When is the last
reaching
time you
across-
rode
Driver
with me?
control.
Last time I rode with you was the Audi diesel with the auto start stop that felt like you were getting hit by a pickup truck in the back every time that thing restarted. I think we took that to Dallas for the Ram pickup
Big
truck,
Ram
the
truck,
rodeo something.
Yeah, at
so-
AT&T
Well,
Stadium.
country music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And matter
So
of
it's
fact,
been a while.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I've got one now. That one out there, it's got the auto start stop feature on it.
You even notice
It-
it?
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Absolutely horrible. The engine in the thing, weak, the weakest engine I've. You can't even go over an overpass without it downshifting and revving up to 3,000 RPM to get it. What is that? Are you kidding me?
Well, I think to a degree they are underpowering so many vehicles and depending on the turbocharging system to get the power back in.
Dude, this thing.
But it's got to wind up to create.
Oh, this
Oh, yeah.
one. It's just it should never. No, it's getting 26 miles to the gallon. Okay, kudos on that. But
How big's the engine? 1.2,
I haven't even looked at
1.4
it.
liter.
Yeah, it's a tiny little
Yeah.
thing. I could get more horsepower out of my Briggs and Stratton lawnmower than that thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I wanted a 2 liter, I'd go get a Pepsi.
That's right. Oh,
Ba-dum-bum.
It's just not the
Or
car.
Dr. Pepper. This
It's
is
pretty
Texas.
on the outside. It's got a great interior in it that I really like, and then it's got a motor that goes.
Yep.
And it's truly amazing to me that somebody within the Kia family over there that makes this thing in South Korea, you're going, you're the one that approved this?
Well, that approval comes from a multitude of people. The problem happens when the marketing department takes over the approval process and not the engineering department. And I saw that over and over again at General Motors, where marketing approved stuff that engineering wouldn't approve, and we would sit there in the meetings and fight with them, and eventually you're just told to sit down and shut up.
Look, if you're a soccer mom, this may be perfect for you. You drive it back and forth to the store. It's got plenty of leg room, storage. It looks cool. That big screen.
But you don't want to drive it over the
Well-
Eisenhower Pass west of Denver.
No, I mean, but like you said, to the soccer mom, she may not get out of a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit a week or two at a time.
I know.
Have you seen
and that's
soccer
fine.
moms drive? Some of them are maniacs.
Send your comments to info.
No, send that
at
one to
inwheel-
Jeff at inwheeltime.com.
Jeff at inwheeltime.com.
Get the phone lines open now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just so many things just disappoint me in so many vehicles, and then others hit it home run out of the park.
Yep.
Hyundai. Now, when you think of Hyundai as a car manufacturer, what do you, in their lineup of vehicles? In their lineup of vehicles, is there something wrong?
I'm waiting for the punchline.
There's no punchline.
Oh.
In the lineup of vehicles that they have, what do you think of? Do you think of
Sonata.
2 doors, 4 doors, SUVs, trucks? What comes to mind first?
Sonata. They're
Yeah.
4-door.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Six
say
sedan.
mid-size car, but it's not. To me, it's still a compact car.
Hyundai-
That's the one that comes to my mind. When you say
Hyundai is trimming its car lineup to focus on crossovers and its budding battery electric Ioniq sub-brand. For 2023, the Korean automaker will cut the Accent subcompact sedan, the Veloster N hatchback, and both the hybrid and plug-in hybrid variants of the Ioniq compact car. The last sedan standing for the brand will be the Ioniq 6, all-electric midsize sedan that will go on sale early next year, and the midsize Sonata and the compact Elantra, which Hyundai says are still both in demand in a market now dominated by crossovers.
Well, think about the Veloster. I haven't even thought of that. That is their car that they take rally racing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only place you ever see that car. You don't really see them much on the road.
Not much.
Is
Rarely.
it Ioniq or is it Ionic?
Either hybrid. Is it
Ioniq.
tomato or is it tomato?
Ioniq.
It's potato.
Potato. Okay. I don't know. Is it Ionic?
I thought it was Ionic.
I thought it was Ionic too.
I thought it was ironic.
That's a
Hey, Mars said something.
It's theoretically
theoretically.
the right one.
It's theoretically ironic
There you go.
or iconic.
Hubba hubba.
This is just absolutely, and I hope that Nancy Pelosi was in this.
Oh, you're going to talk about Paulie P getting a wreck with some woman
Friend?
in the car?
A group of Cruise autonomous vehicles blocked traffic last Tuesday night in San Francisco. The traffic jam, which a witness estimated involved more than a dozen robo-taxis, was not resolved until human operators removed the vehicles. Drew Pasteri, a spokesperson for Cruise, acknowledged the event in a written statement to Automotive News. He said, quote, "We had an issue earlier this week that caused some of our vehicles to cluster together." What a cluster. He said, "While it was resolved and no passengers were impacted, we apologize to anyone who was inconvenienced. The 100,000 cars on the freeway that were backed up to your mama's house." Pasteri would not elaborate on the cause aside from it being a quote-unquote technical issue.
Well, and
Machines are taking over.
notice nowhere in what you said did it say Cruise is the underpinning of General Motors' autonomous driving program.
Well, I left that out
Okay,
of this.
yeah.
But yes, Cruise, an autonomous vehicle company, majority owned by GM, commercially launched its self-driving taxi service in limited areas of San Francisco
So they were going on
between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. just
gosh.
last week.
I think Cruise was going on strike like the truckers did in Canada.
That's right.
And they just all pulled up in the middle of town and parked.
Well, this was at the intersection of Gough and Fulton Streets.
Oh, I know where that is.
Try to recreate the Bullet movie.
Except they weren't moving.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes, it is.
Of course, my sense of humor is different than most.
Perverted.
Well, you can call it that.
And Nancy's in Italy or something, isn't she? Overseas somewhere?
Well,
Getting something from the Pope?
is your husband sober this week?
I don't know.
I'm not.
Did you see him at the restaurant last night or anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, he might have been in the back room or something. Toyota Motor Company has used up a key U.S. tax credit for hybrid and electric vehicles, a milestone that the automaker says will raise its costs and hinder adoption of climate-friendly cars. The company said last week that it sold 3,876 plug-in hybrid and electric cars in June. The U.S. allows automakers to offer a $7,500 tax credit to buyers of fully or partially electric cars, but only up to $200,000 per company. Toyota's cumulative sales of eligible vehicles have now surpassed that threshold, according to data compiled by Bloomberg and confirmed with the company. Japanese manufacturer becomes the third automaker to hit the limit, joining General Motors and Tesla. Demand for EVs has steadily grown in the U.S. over the last few years. So for those auto manufacturers that have hit the limit, now your cost is going to cost you $7,500 more per vehicle.
Because there ain't no more government kickback.
Yeah.
Incentives.
Kickback.
I just thought that was
the rest of us pay for you to drive a EV. Thank you very much.
pretty much.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, the price of everything is out of sight. Although I will say that I noticed that the price of gasoline seems to be coming down just a touch.
Just a touch.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Why don't we do Conrad's Car Clinic?
Sure.
You ready for that? I got to save some stories for next hour.
The 5 most common automotive AC problems and some of their solutions. Most owners are relatively good about regular vehicle maintenance, such as oil change, brake pad replacement, and tire rotation. However, the air conditioning system requires a certain amount of maintenance as well and is frequently overlooked. Neglecting this system can lead to a number of obnoxious noises, kind of like Don sitting in the back seat of your car, annoying smells like Jeff sitting in the front seat of your car, or worse, a broken air conditioning system. Here are the most common AC problems and their possible solutions. No air blowing from the vents. High probability is the blower motor has failed.
Yep.
But the blower motor is the most expensive component of that system. You want to look at fuses and relays first to make sure the fuses and relays are good before you start putting a blower motor in it. The air blows but isn't cold. Well, that can be pretty bad because typically that means that the refrigerant is low and has a possible leak. Now, you can have a vehicle that it's cold on one side of the car but hot on the other. And that's actually relatively common in the GM pickup trucks. And there is when you have these dual mode AC systems, and there's a temperature door for the driver's side and a temperature door for the passenger side. Well, on GMs, typically the temperature door on the driver's side is the one that fails. And that's probably the easiest one to get to. So that one, you just replace this little motor in the bottom underneath the dash. But if it's low on refrigerant, it takes some pretty high-tech equipment to go in there and extract what refrigerant's left, and they're going to put some new refrigerant in it with a dye, a fluorescent dye in there, and then they're going to go out and look for the leak. And then once they find the leak, they have to extract that refrigerant out again, fix the leak, and then put it back in and dye check it again to make sure it doesn't leak.
You can still use a sniffer.
You can use a sniffer. The sniffers either way, it's very expensive to do. Anytime you're working on an air conditioning system, it requires some pretty high-tech equipment to do it. You can get the air. Item 3 would be that the air stinks from your air conditioning system, and you notice that bad, musty smell. And we talk about this quite a bit. And that debris or moisture can accumulate inside your vehicle's climate control system. It, especially here in Houston, it gets wet, and then it starts growing mold and mildew and bacteria. And the outgassing of the mold, mildew, and bacteria is what causes that funky, dirty socks smell when you first start your car. With that, you need to get the system cleaned out with a good bacterial side. Typically, what a lot of companies do is they will fill that evaporator case up with a antibacterial foam, turn the blower motor on, let it push its way through the evaporator, and that kills all that mold, mildew, and bacteria.
And what happens to the fuzz that's in there? I mean,
hopefully it all drains out the drain pipe.
Gotcha.
And that takes us to the next thing: is, are your floorboards damp in the passenger side of the vehicle? If the floorboards are damp, generally that's going to be caused by that drain being plugged up from all of that hair, mold, and stuff that can plug that drain up. Now, that can be very easy to fix, and that is getting underneath there and kind of poking it. The problem with poking it is if you're up in the air and you take a long I use like a WD-40 straw, and there are some other things. I generally don't put anything metal up in there because you can poke a hole in the evaporator. But all of that dirty stuff will run down that straw, run down your arm, run inside your shirt, and literally make a complete mess out of you.
And you smell like a stinky sock.
And then you smell like a dirty sock. But sometimes that water on the floorboard, if there's a sweet smell to it, means you have a heater core that's leaking. But that's easy to tell the difference. Either way, it needs to get fixed relatively quick. There's a noise when you turn the air conditioning on. Sometimes that can be as simple as the adjuster rattling because it's gone. The belt is stretched so much that the adjuster rattles, and you may have to replace that. But if you've got a clicking or a knocking noise that's inside the compressor, clutch failure, or possibly compressor failure, and that can be thousands of dollars to fix depending on the vehicle. But again, you're going to have to take it to somebody who knows what they're doing. It's not something you're going to be able to do in your garage. Repairs to your climate control system require specific knowledge and specialized tools to complete. Having these issues arise in the heat of the summer can be expensive and time-consuming. Do not use those products you find in the parts stores that say, here, add a little bit of refrigerant to your system. It can damage the system. And finally, regular climate control maintenance can prevent many of the above problems and extend the life of your vehicle's climate control system.
Thank you so much.
It's good. Good stuff.
Yeah, very good. All right, time for a quick break now. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Lupi's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. Howdy.
Howdy.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and just ahead, we're going to talk with Brian Sims with the Champions Hot Rod Car Club of Houston. We'll have the upcoming events calendar. We took the new Chevy Silverado for a test drive. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Plus, we'll have this week's automotive news headlines just ahead in this portion of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin.
We do.
And our Broadcasting Hall of Fame member, the Don Armstrong.
Yep.
He's not here today.
And the show's 11 years old.
It
It's been here
11,
yeah.
11.
And we all act like
we-
a bunch of 7-year-olds.
We went on the air on May the 7th of 2011.
Oh,
That was our
we're
first show of the
And
In
it's
Wheel
an
Time
11-year
show.
overnight success.
11 year, yeah. Remind me of that when we get off the air.
Okay.
At any rate, so glad that you could join us on this Saturday, next Saturday, because I will be on the Corvette Invasion Network.
Right.
I'm going to Bastrop, Texas.
The Convention and Exhibit Center.
Yep. Convention. Yeah. So I'm driving up on Friday, and I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, coming back Sunday. And Sunday, we're all going over to Circuit of the Americas in a great big long line of Corvettes to go and
Drive around the track.
drive around
a
the
couple of
track.
times.
Oh,
Isn't
you
that
like
cool?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
I've been on a couple different vehicles.
So I'm looking forward to that. And, I haven't really been to an all Corvette event. Oh, my gosh. I'll give away my age. Since the 1880s. Let me put it that way.
Probably since the 70s.
Probably. Yeah.
Late 70s.
And, and
1870.
And I have to tell you that it was the Corvette thing that really introduced me to some very long-time friends that I have had, Bill Insurance Sites, who in turn has introduced me to people like John Hovis.
Right.
So it was and the Hot Rod Tour of Texas that I went on earlier this year. That's another one of those events that I met some really cool people, and it's these kinds of events that, generally speaking, you meet some pretty cool people.
Yeah, it was car
And-
people.
350 is the limit that's registered. Now, there will be more than that there,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure. Yeah. And so I'm going to take
And
my...
Bastrop's a decent location for it because it's not difficult to get there from Houston, Austin, or San Antonio.
Right.
And really, Dallas-Fort Worth, it's not that bad to get down there from there. So good centralized location.
Yeah.
And lots of stuff in Bastrop.
Buc-ee's.
There you go.
Buc-ee's is there.
It's a small Buc-ee's.
Not
It
for
doesn't
long.
have
I
does-
think that they're going to be expanding it to make it the biggest Buc-ee's in the state.
Oh, really?
I-
Okay.
That's what I heard. Yeah. So
We
anyway,
went to a Buc-ee's that was action-packed.
oh my gosh, when Jeff rode with me and David up to our big
Cranberry.
event,
Oh,
Cranberry.
the one in Madisonville.
Oh my gosh, I have never in my all the Buc-ee's, all the years that I've been into, I have never seen so many people. we had a hard time finding a parking place.
There's a line to get into the parking. Each pump had at least 3 vehicles, and
Okay.
people in with their.
That's called success.
Yeah.
Ka-ching, ka-ching,
Mhm.
ka-ching. Yeah, and we went in there and added to it. We got us some breakfast and some coffee.
Beaver
and
nuggets.
Beaver nut. I didn't buy any of those, but yeah.
Contributed.
All right, moving right along. Let's talk now with Brian Sims. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning to y'all.
And thank you so much for joining us. Brian is with the Champions Hot Rod Club of Houston. And I assume by the name that you're in the Champions 1960 area?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I guessed it right
We
for a
got it.
change. Whew. I thought, because it could be, we're champions and, hot rods.
Yep,
So
yep.
tell me about the Hot Rod Club, because defining a hot rod today is different than it was back in our day.
70s.
Yeah, 70s. The hot rods back then were actually post-World War II creations, basically, from the guys coming back from the battlefield, and they had some knowledge about cars, and let's soup it up and put it on a drag strip. So what kind of hot rods do you guys have?
We have a whole variant type. Right now, I've got it as an open, so we're not turning any vehicles away. But primarily, they are considered hot rods, everything from 1935, 38, all the way up to per se modern trucks, and then everything in between.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, because today, and that's kind of like, I have a 2001 Corvette, and I consider that a hot rod. It's not a hot rod.
Well,
In the definition of a hot rod, it's not. It's my car that doesn't have that many miles on it. It's my baby.
yeah, but it is modified.
It is modified.
You have modified it. So to me, that makes it a hot rod.
Well, yeah, but in the true definition of it, matter of fact, we interviewed the hot rod guys that showed up at the last Tailpipes and Tacos. Have you been to Tailpipes and Tacos?
I have not, but I've been wanting to go.
You need to go, because matter of fact, at the beginning of the month, we had the event out there, and it was a hot rod event.
Oh, yeah, very much.
Yeah, we a collection of, well, actually there was a builder that builds 34s. What was the
Bruce's hot rod.
Yeah,
Bruce's hot
Yeah, we had
rod.
the
Hot
Bruce
rod
that
shop.
started it.
Yeah, he was out there. So I'm sure if you're familiar with that hot rod era, you would know Bruce, because he's well known in these parts.
Yeah, get your club to make a cruise out of it on September 17th, and it's the Lupe Tortillas in Katy, which is Kingsland and Grand Parkway.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah. It's not.
And it'll be cool enough in September. It'll probably only be in the high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah, but at any rate, so how many members you got in the Champions Hot Rod Club?
It's bouncing in between 10 and 25. I don't want it huge. I want to keep it 50 or under.
Manageable, but
Yes.
but hot rodders are not manageable. You know
No.
that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and so anything over a dozen, it becomes unmanageable. No, I get it totally. So what kind of
So-
hot rod do you have, Brian?
I've got a 38 Master Deluxe Chevy. I've got a 68 Chevelle SS Super Sport,
Oh my!
and then I've got a 79 Berlinetta Camaro. Here's
Okay.
2 of them right here. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I kind of figured you must have had a Chevelle, because you've got it on your shirt, you've got it over your head.
Right?
I have to tell you that I have not heard the trim level Berlinetta since they went out of production on the Chevy Camaro decades ago.
back in the-
But I
yeah.
remember them. They were
Yep.
gussied up Camaros.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy
Yes,
Camaros.
and this one, all the numbers match.
Is that rare?
Well, for
Yeah, just even
79,
to find one.
yeah.
That you're right. Yeah, if you could find one.
And let me guess, the color is champagne.
No, it's actually a custom, about a $25,000 paint job. It's all ghosted in. So the paint is the only thing that's pretty much not original.
And so numbers match. But have you done anything to the '79 motor?
No, not yet. That's my next step. There's nothing wrong with it. It runs perfectly fine, but it's a 350, and you got to give it a 2-week notice to pull out in front of traffic.
Yeah, I was going to say in '79, it's a bit of a wheezer.
So what color is it?
It's a bronze / light red / gold flame ghosted. It's about 4 different colors. Depends on which way the light's catching it.
Oh, I'm gonna call it beige.
So which car are you going to which car are you going to bring out to Tailpipes and Tacos? The Chevelle?
I'll probably bring the Chevelle.
Yeah, there's usually a number of big block Chevys that pop out there. There's usually a guy shows up with his 396 68 Camaro quite often, that convertible, that blue one that shows up. And then a number of other folks turn out. So
Yeah, this is right up your alley, that Tailpipes and Tacos. So get a couple of your buddies, cruise on down there. It's not that far from the Champions area.
Not when you hit 99 anymore.
And it's that's usually such a good cruise on 99, because the 75, I think, is the speed limit up there. Well, if you do the speed limit.
So do you guys host any events?
Yes, sir. We do 2 car shows per year. We try and do one in March, and then I have one coming up in October. And then we also host and do other charity events at nursing homes, schools, churches. Our whole club is based around 100% charity. So any funds or any money we raise, 100% goes to that foundation or to that organization or to whatever it is we're hosting.
So do you bring out all of your iron to these? And if you do, who do you allow to drive them?
Well, I do have a wife, and actually the Camaro I bought for her because she liked it. So it's technically hers, but it's parked in my garage. So I have to charge her rent once in a while.
Yeah, I can see how that would work out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, not so
but
much.
no, normally just 2 of them get brought.
Just you and her.
You're right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the next event is October?
Yes, sir. October the 9th. It'll be a Sunday. It'll be held over here off of Luetta on the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks Bar and Grill.
Ah, okay. I just wanted to clarify
that. They do a
that.
fantastic job hosting us. They open up early. They bring out the big fajita grill and cook breakfast for everybody. And then Black Rifle Coffee is one of our sponsors. They bring out like 20 gallons of all different flavor coffees and all the mixers that go with it.
And that is awesome coffee. I subscribe to Black Rifle. That is, boy,
they're a great organization.
You want coffee with a kick? Woo, man, this stuff will light you up.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, Black Rifle's very good coffee. It's a military organization.
It's a veteran.
And then we have our other. What we do is we want everybody to have fun. So the car shows, like I said, 100% of the money goes to different foundations or different organizations. And I just want everybody to have fun. So yes, there's trophies involved. Yes, there's raffles. Yes, there's giveaways. But at the end of the day, I just want everybody to have fun. So what we do is none of our cars in our club are allowed to be in the
competition, if you will.
Correct. So what I've devised is another way, because the guys were kind of getting discouraged. They're like, well, when do we get to, have a car show for us? So I said, well, here's what we'll do. When people check in, we'll give them an extra raffle ticket, and each one of our cars will have some sort of bucket, and let the people that are out there vote.
People's choice. Love that.
Exactly. So that way, one of the guys in our club will get a trophy, and everybody goes, because we're out there working. So, and none of our guys also judge. I have all outside judges come in, and they do a fantastic job. And all I do is I tally up all their score sheets.
Oh, cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know they have. We've got another friend of ours that does does a car show, and that's going to be Woody's Waterfront Car Show. It's going to be in like September, October, down in San Leon. And there's an app out now that you can run your car show on with all the scores and everything. And,
Really?
Oh yeah. I don't remember the name of it. If you follow us, I'll get Woody to share with us, and I'll post it
Okay.
up on our Facebook page. But he runs the show and the scoring and the judging on an app, which is actually pretty cool.
Well, yeah, that would make my life easier because I got to literally sit there with a old school pencil and paper and scratch down numbers and make sure I got everybody in the categories. And
Are you sure your name's not Mike Mars?
ah,
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see this scratch sheet that he's got over there working on. Doodling.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, sounds very.
Conrad and I looked at each other. Well, I want to know. Okay, so we learned about the numbers matching Berlinetta. I haven't heard that word in so long.
Tell us about the 68 Chevelle.
Yeah, we want to know about that. How long have you had it, and what's it got in it?
Since high school.
Oh, no kidding.
Seriously.
I actually did. I was doing drifting long before drifting was ever pronounced. But we didn't call it that. We called it donuts around the light pole.
There you go.
So
And you're still doing that?
when I can get away with it.
Yeah. I was going to say, constable out there'd love to know where that location is.
Oh, exactly.
So the
But,
SS came with a 396.
Which
yes.
which
well, it
396?
actually came with the 307, and I yanked the 307 out.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's not an original SS.
No, it's a modified, whatever you want
Hot
to call it.
Tribute car.
Yes.
Clone, something.
But I
Hot
kept
rod.
yes, I kept a 2-speed power glide in it, and that thing is a beast. It's a screamer. I've had it completely redone, and I've had the course changed out the rear end, and
What kind of gear are you running in the rear end?
I'm running 383
That'll work.
with a 12-bolt rear end.
That's a little buzzy going down the highway at 75
It
miles
was
an
a
hour.
2-speed though. That's not too bad.
Well, what's
but it's
nice
still
is
one-to-one.
I can throw it into low because I took it off. I took the shifter off the column, put it on the floor, slapstick. I can run low up to about 5,500 RPMs, running about 75, 80, and still punch it and it goes sideways. And then I can slap it in the drive and cruise on down.
How often do you do that?
And don't tell us where.
Whenever I can get from gas station to gas station.
I was going to say that thing will pass anything but a gas station. So
Right.
is it a true 396 that's in it, or have you put a modified big
Yes,
block?
no,
in it?
it's all board punched, milled. I just had the whole top end redone about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So
And,
you fiddled with it a lot. I like to use that term.
That's a good word.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we got a couple of other cars that you haven't really
The
shared with
yeah,
us.
the 38 Chevy.
got the Chevy Master Deluxe. It's a resto from the frame off, and it's got a Nova front end on it. It's got the air condition. It's got a little 350 in there, but it's a beast. It's heavy, and it's got a lot of metal in there, and it's got all the bells and whistles, air conditioning, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So
because a 38
it's just
Chevy,
it's strictly a cruiser.
a 38 Chevy is going to be a metal car. It's not like the 32 Fords where everybody's got the glass cars.
Right.
There's nobody making glass
32.
38 Chevys.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how cool is
So,
that?
But I have fun at everywhere it's painted that lipstick red, and everybody wants to call it the ZZ Top car, but unfortunately it's a 4-door with the suicide doors, not the 2-door coupe.
Yeah, but still, the suicide doors
Oh,
are awesome when you
Yeah,
pop them all
I
open
I
and
love
people
the
come
front
over
end
and
on
check
that
it out.
thing. It's got the big giant fenders with the big giant
Grill,
headlights.
Yeah.
neat.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, Brian. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to us. Give all of your friends there in the Champions Hot Rod Club our best, and hope to see you guys
So-
soon.
What's your website if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
It's champions with an S hotrodcarclub.com.
I already have it on our social media, posted on our social media. We hope to see you out at Tailpipes and Tacos September 17th at
I'll mark it down.
Loopy Tortillas Katy Freeway location.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Katie.
Thank
Or
you.
Katy
you.
location.
It's Katy, and it's not on the Katy Freeway
No,
because
I
God knows
made a
I
mistake.
got in trouble with that
Yeah, this
deal.
is at Kingsland and 99.
Yes, it is. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for this hour's car review, actually truck review. Had a
Uh-oh.
chance to drive the 2022 Chevrolet Silverado. Get this. Do you have any clue how many trim levels there are now in the
A
Silverado?
bazillion.
Let's count them, shall we? The WT,
Work truck. Sorry.
the WT, the Custom Trail Boss, the LT, the RST, the LT Trail Boss, the ZR2, the LTZ, and the High Country.
It's only 9.
Doodah.
This is a standard pickup according to the U.S. government, half-ton version. 5 passengers for the most part, unless you get a work truck, and you can get 6 in there with the bench seat. All new in 2019. Exterior features. Extra large grille, and there are some trim levels that they black out not only the grille, but they black out the surrounds around the headlights, and they black out the bumper, and they black out the valance panel going underneath. So it looks like this massive thing coming at you with a big mouth that's going to swallow up whatever is in front of it. It has what I call mock front fenders on it that are pressed into the sheet metal with a downward curved styling. So it starts up at the front of the fender up here, and then it curves down this way and kind of ends and
Slopes.
and just kind of goes away.
Style lines.
I'm not sure I like it, but that's what it is. More rounded window detail in this particular model. Rectangle dual exhaust tips, which I used to have back on my SS Camaro, and I liked them. They were good. What I liked about it, the toe steps built into the bumper. I think that's a brilliant thing.
Yep.
What
Super
could use
simple, too.
improvement? Well, the blacked out grille and front bumper it deters from its aggressive look. If you get the upscale one that I had, it's chrome, it's separate, it looks good in the chrome.
But I imagine the blackout's probably in the work truck and the custom, and it's all about price because they don't have to chrome it. Makes it a little bit cheaper.
Yes, but just anyway, interior highlights. Big horizontal touchscreen, great new addition there. Balanced dash design with a large sunshade over the instrument cluster. Passive phone charger on the center console
like
lid.
that.
Wood details throughout the cabin is a nice touch. Now remember, I had the High Country, okay, which is the top of the line. What could use improvement? A volume only knob for the radio. That would be nice.
It's not on the steering wheel touch controls.
It is, but
Not on the dash.
no. I had the optional 6.2 liter V8.
Oh gosh.
Which turns out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating, 9,100 pounds. Haul rating, 1,440. Miles per gallon, based on the sticker, 14 city, 17 highway for a combined of 15. I got 17.1 miles per
Wow.
gallon
That
over
is good.
252.5 miles.
Pretty good for 400 plus horsepower.
Yeah. What I liked about it, plenty of power that doesn't really sacrifice fuel mileage based on what it is built to do. It's a truck. What could use improvement? Well, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to drive it, but you know what the new base engine is, don't you?
The Turbo 4.
It's a turbo 4-cylinder that has like 310 horsepower, which really isn't bad. But I wish that they would offer a hybrid. Well, of course, I'm sure that electric is in the works. But
There is going to be an EV Silverado coming out
Yeah.
on that skateboard that they share with the Hummer EV.
ride and handling, what I liked about it, it's comfortable for the driver. What could use improvement? I don't really know. Base price on this, trim level, $60,300. Prices tested, $72,870.
Wow.
Base model price, you can get into a Chevy Silverado WT for $39,500.
Work truck.
Yep, it's a work truck. It's a work truck.
It's a hoser. You can just hose
Competitors, the
the
Ford
floors out 'cause they're all
F-150 is $38,920. The Ram 1500 starts at $36,675. In the Toyota Tundra, $3,800.
Again, that base price is all
38,000,
pretty close to each other.
Yeah, they are. So, and that's
Cool.
my review of the 2022 Chevy Silverado.
Nice.
If you liked it,
Yeah, I did. And you know, it's so funny about trucks. Chances are that you may or may not own a truck. But if you have owned a truck in the past, you're probably going to go back to the same manufacturer and not switch. You know,
Right.
Chevy guys,
Yeah.
Ford guys,
Ram
guys. But conquests of the Ram, which is those that jump from Silverado to Ram, or the Ford F-150, or the Tundra for that matter, jump over to Ram. And I think it's because of the styling, exterior styling, and that interior. Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on and talk about the events calendar here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Well, the biggest upcoming one is going to be Tailpipes and Tacos, and that's going to be September 17th at Loopy Tortillas on Kingsland and 99 Grand Parkway. And we'll be there live doing the show.
We hope.
Show up and say hi.
Yep.
They are still giving out the 3 awards for show attendees. July 15th is going to be the Corvette Invasion. Don's going to be out in Bastrop Convention and Exhibit Center. On July 30th, the street meet at Tailgaters Pub in Spring, Texas. That's at 24504 Kirkendall in Spring, which is up near 99. August 6th is the race day at Houston Motorsports Park. August 12th through the 14th is the Texas Wake and Scrape in
What?
Huntsville, Texas. It's the trucks, the low riding trucks, the Wake and Scrape stuff.
What is the
Huntsville.
wake part of it?
I don't know. Maybe they're towing a boat. I have no idea what wake part
If
of
they're
it
going
is.
fast, it could
Well,
You think they're on the water?
Maybe they're trying to raise the prisoner dead out of the cemetery
well,
out
if
there.
they're pulling a boat, it could be a speedboat.
Okay. Saturday, August 20th is the Meet and Bowl at the bowling alley at 2390 Wilson
Nice.
Road in Humble. September 30th is the 5th annual car show at Lake Church. Saturday, September 10th.
Lake Church,
Lake
not
Church.
Lakewood Church.
No, Lake Church.
Lake Church.
Right. Saturday, September 10th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. is Feed the Bug Show at El Jardin Beach down off of Bolivar, isn't it?
Is it, a,
Not Jardine Beach, maybe off Surfside.
Surfside, I'm
is
sorry.
it a Volkswagen show? The Feed the Bug?
Feed the Bug. It's a Volkswagen show.
Cool.
That it?
That's it.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts ripe for the picking
Oh, yeah.
from your favorite podcast source. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, the boys are back together in the studio.
Woohoo! Yeehaw!
And we have tales to tell.
Hot, sweaty tails.
Ooh.
Sounds
We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines and a special guest we're going to talk to here in just a second. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday, last half hour of the show. Next week, we're going to have a recorded show because there won't be anybody here. I'll be out of town at the Corvette Invasion.
I'll still be asleep.
David,
See, you do that every time. I show up. I show up here on the days of Rob.
do you really?
Yeah, he just bangs on the door.
Yeah.
And
Well, he just wants to use your shower.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
you
and
can use it
bathroom.
without me this time.
Usually you guys shower together.
Not
No,
as
we
much
don't.
fun.
No, we don't. I've got to read this story. I've been wanting to read this story. Have you ever heard
Nope.
of ringless voicemail? Ringless voicemail. I've never heard of it.
Nope.
Okay. Listen to this. This is from Automotive News. California Dealership Group and a former customer have agreed to a $2.5 million class action settlement in a case surrounding ringless voicemails, a practice that is popular among auto dealers. I've never heard of it. Anyway, the allegations against Moss Brothers Auto Group, based in Riverside, California, claim the company continuously used ringless voicemails that amounted to aggressive, unsolicited marketing that violated the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Ringless voicemails are phone calls that deliver messages directly to a consumer's voicemail and do not trigger a typical ring on an individual's phone.
Smart guys.
The plaintiff said the messages are essentially the same as the method for transmitting text messages. Due to their nature, ringless voicemails cannot be blocked in the same way other unsolicited calls can. Some car dealers have adopted the method as a way to telemarket to customers without being accused of violating the law. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act prohibits pre-recorded or automatic telephone dialing systems from contacting consumers without prior written consent. Dealerships have claimed the voicemails do not fall under the act as they are not traditional phone calls. Politicians and legal professionals have disagreed. Jamal Johnson, a recipient of ringless voicemails from Moss Brothers starting in 2019, claimed the messages fit the description of communications outlawed in the act. He said he had not given prior written consent, but continued to receive the voicemails from February of 2019 through October of 2019.
So he's going to sue him and try and get rich.
Probably will.
Well, get this. So Johnson filed a complaint with the U.S. District Court of Central California in December of 2019. The lawsuit was later certified as a class action and eventually grew to 2,385 members, according to court documents. On June 24th, the court approved a $2.5 million settlement, which includes $625,700 in attorney fees. There you go. And a $5,000 service payment for Johnson. Each class member will be eligible for an estimated $46.
And you hear me say this all the time about class action lawsuits. Make the attorney rich and the class members nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they got $40.
The settlement
will get
also
them a
requires
quarter of a tank
Moss's
of gas.
dealerships to adopt policies and procedures regarding compliance with the TCPA and the National Do Not Call Registry. Attorneys representing Moss Brothers did not return a call from Automotive News seeking comment on the case.
But if you want, call them and leave a message on their thing at 1-800 Brothers Motors.
There you go.
I'm going to go look up their
.com.
phone
I'd
number.
be real curious on how that works. I never worked in a switch room, but you got to still go through the telephone to get to them.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly. I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't either, but somehow or another, I mean, regardless, to talk to you at your house.
Is it anything about like the lost child, bothersome, irritating thing that they send out at 3 a.m. in the morning?
No,
Because you can't
the
turn
alert.
that off.
Yeah, the alert.
I don't want that on my phone. I don't care. I care, but I don't care.
You can
Right,
turn
right,
alerts
right.
off on your phone.
So
No.
You can.
Moss Motors is out of Goleta, California, which is out near Santa Barbara. And if you want, give them a call and leave them a voicemail, 1-800-667-7872. And just keep on calling and annoy them.
No,
Like
can't
they
do
annoy
that.
you.
You can't promote that.
Oh, I can't? Okay,
No.
never
Never
mind.
mind.
Never mind. Don't do that.
Or you can send me $1. Everyone out there listening.
Thank you, Soupy Sales.
Soupy sales.
1-800-667-7872.
All right. I know that we have a guest on the line.
Yeah,
and
he's patiently waiting.
I know.
is.
I'm so sorry. So first, let me apologize to Clint Huckabee. He is a spokesperson for the 409 Power Tour Poker Run. Clint, my apologies. I hope that we've entertained you while you've been waiting.
Oh, it was great stuff. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning to you. It's
You're
kind of,
easily amused.
it's kind of like that Ring voicemail thing, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
There's-
great.
exactly. So, Clint, where are you located?
Bridge City, Texas.
Where is that?
About 25 miles east of Beaumont, Orange, Texas.
Isn't
Orange.
between-
It's in between Port Arthur and Orange.
And
on
who-
the other side of the bridge.
who famous is from there?
You two would know that.
Well,
I
sure.
wouldn't.
Isn't
We've got
Britney
3 or
Spears?
4 guys from this little bitty small town, 7,000 people.
So, what did you say,
Isn't
Jeff?
Britney Spears from that area?
Brittany's not
No,
from there.
Bridge City?
From Arkansas.
We had Shane Dronette, Matt Bryant, Jason Matthews, all played in the NFL. A town of 7,500 people. So
There
Wow.
you go.
So there is some famous people there, just
Yeah.
not Brittany. Brittany, I think, is from
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, it is
okay.
Louisiana.
Well, that's close.
It's close, yeah.
Stayed away.
All right. So the 409 Power Tour Poker Run. Well, first of all, it's a tour that you're doing a poker run. You're going to have to explain to everybody because I think I have a good idea what a poker run is. I think I went on one decades ago. But what is a poker run? Explain that.
we're going to have 6 stops. We're going to have a starting point, give everybody instructions. You'll be given a map, and there's 6 stops where you go and hopefully enjoy a beverage, buy something. Then you pick up a card. You make your 6 stops. You come back to the finish. We get your 6 cards out. If you don't like 2 of your cards, you can buy 2 more cards. Best hand wins. And all the money goes to first place gets 70%, second place gets 30%. And
Wow.
all the money's going to the winners.
Now, didn't I read that you were going to limit it to 200 cars?
This is our first go round, so we're limited to 200 cars to try and just see how.
See how it works. See how to put it together.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're talking potentially $3,000 or $4,000 to first place.
Yeah.
Correct.
$6,000 total pot.
So what? So it's a $30 entry fee.
Yes.
Okay.
And some interesting places to stop. So you start at Madison's, and then you go to Struggle Street Brewing Company, and
Correct.
then I can't pronounce Rinkajack's Brewing Company.
Rick and Jack is another food establishment with they have live music and bands.
And then Texas Avenue Tavern. So there seems to be a connection with liquor and the tour, the poker tour.
Food and drinks.
Food
There you
and
go.
drinks.
Food and drinks.
That's America.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's
I was going
America.
to say it's because it's hot outside. You got to keep everybody hydrated.
Is
And
that
then
what it is?
Pat's Performance
Correct.
and Tuning Services, Luke's Mid County,
That's my spot.
5 Under Golf, which is right there off of College Street, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then
No, wait a minute. Wait, you're going too fast.
fast,
What is 5 Under Golf? What is that?
It's kind of like a
Driving
Top
range?
Golf. Yeah.
Oh,
Let-
Top
let-
Golf.
Top Golf.
Okay. All right. And then Madison's is the final stop. So you're going to go out, and you're going to go to these other locations, and then you go wind up where you started.
Correct. And then you'll come in. You'll hand us your cards. 5 best cards wins. They're having a live band, drinks, food. It's gonna be a good time.
And it starts at exactly 3 o'clock in the afternoon
Yes.
and goes until 9 p.m.
Yes. You have to be back by 9 p.m. If you don't make it back, you just lose out.
Well, hell,
Because if you think about it, by the time you make the couple of stops in Beaumont, then you're basically headed down Interstate 10, right?
Mars, I don't. If all of these places, Texas Avenue Tavern, Rinkin Jack's Brewing, Struggle Street Brewing, I don't know as if I would make it back.
Well, the driver is a designated driver, and the passengers are getting hammered.
Is that how that works?
No, they collect the cards.
They collect the cards.
There you go.
That's what it is.
But you have to bring a receipt. You have to bring a receipt from each
No,
location.
you bring the card.
No, it says here you must have one.
Get one receipt
Oh.
from one of the buy something from one of the places.
Oh,
But
so you don't
they
have to
are
buy something at all of them.
Just buy around.
specials and bands and everything playing. So it's gonna be a good time.
How
Sounds
fun.
like it.
Yeah. Because like I said, I haven't even heard of anybody doing a poker run in these parts in quite some time. I'm sure that they're out there, but I just haven't heard of any. And so
a lot of the boating crowd and the motorcycle clubs.
Yep.
Do a lot of poker runs.
yeah. Now I have actually been on a boating poker run. Now that was fun on a big lake in Wisconsin. Oh my
Yes.
God. I didn't know a boat could go so fast. It wasn't a speed event, but I'll tell you what, that thing was wide open throttle from this bar to that bar that's about 5 miles across the lake or up the lake or down the lake or whatever it may be.
Across
That
the
was-
water.
that was
Yeah, when I
terrific.
first saw this, the 409 Power Tour, I was thinking 409 is in the Chevy engine. Now I realize no, it's 409 is in the area code.
Area code.
Yeah, and it's
We're trying to bring the car culture back around this area. There,
Did it leave?
yeah, there's a huge car culture here, but
No
you got your
organization.
C10 guys, you got your OBS guys, you have your muscle car guys, you have your Ford guys, and in each of those categories they break it down so it's not very uniform, if that makes any sense. We're trying to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Not just your C10 club, not just your muscle car guy. Let's all get together and form something great around here.
Well,
kind of like you did at the Riverfest.
Correct. Yes.
Well, the power tour, the Texas Power Tour that I went on, it was everybody was invited. Just bring your car. There was even some late model cars. They joined the. Who cares? We don't care. It was all about the fun and the people and getting together and going
drive.
Yeah,
Car guys.
yeah, driving across the state of Texas. It was fun.
and that's what we're trying to bring back.
So tell me about the cards. Is it like a deck of cards that you pull 3 from?
We we actually bought 13 decks of cards. So there's, do the math. We're having to have 200 cards at each stop. You'll walk in there and they'll hand you a card, and it's all sealed. You have no idea what you got until you bring them back to Madison's at 9 o'clock, and we open them in front of you.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Well, when do you buy the new cards if you decide you don't have a winning hand? Do you do that when you get back, or can you do that at the location?
You see your 5 cards. You can throw 2 away and buy 2 more from us.
Okay, it's at the very end.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
You will not know what you have until we open them for you.
So the 409 Power Tour Poker Run, July 16th from 3 to 9 p.m., meeting at Madison's. And Madison's is where?
On Dallin and Beaumont.
Okay.
Kind of right behind Parkdale Mall.
Correct. Yes, down the road.
Mike's got a handle
If
on
you're
it.
familiar with it, or if you get over there close to it, if you go looking for it, Don, and you get close enough to Parkdale Mall, you can find it.
Well, I think that weekend Don's going to be in Bastrop.
Yes.
It's next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get lost going to Bastrop,
Listen, if I get lost that far, I'm just going to continue on.
You're going to need a poker run after that.
If you get lost that far,
I'm going to need a hospital bed. Well, this sounds like tons of fun. So what kind of car do you have?
I have a 86 square body C10.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what kind of modifications have you done to it?
It's lowered. I'm in the process of getting it ready to paint, fixing to get ready for an LS swap. Interior's done. Me and my dad just finished putting in some new cab corners yesterday. Got the AC taken apart, messing with that, and then hopefully September, October-ish it'll be painted.
Oh, you're not going to take it on this run?
Oh yeah, it's together. So my truck will be there, but after this, it's probably fixing to be broke down and getting taken care of.
Well, I hope you get the AC fixed before next weekend because it's going to be a cooker.
Well, it's actually blowing finally. It's just not cool yet, so still a little work to do.
Well, you run that 60-mile-an-hour air conditioner.
And we just did a car clinic about AC.
Just open the cowl vent.
So let me ask you this: if you start at 3 at over on Dallin, what time you figure you'll be at Luke's in Mid County by the time you hit the other stops?
That all depends on how much your I guess your co-rider wants to drink at each stop.
Why, are you going to meet him at Luke's?
Well, I might. I mean, that's right down the street. That's where I hang out.
Well, I think if it were me,
I would think you'll see some people there between 5 and 7. I would say.
That's my hangout
are
time.
buses allowed?
If it's got some modifications, we'll let you in.
Get Bierman to bring the bus.
Exactly.
Yes, school
Yes.
bus, yeah.
The liquor bus.
If you have any need for some real great chrome work, we have a show friend, Speed Sport Chrome. Craig Bierman can do all that chrome work for you.
Yeah. It's that.
Does great work.
Well, this has
Cool.
been fun. Clint, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. And you know, kudos to you to come up with something like this to get the car clubs, car people together over there. And we need more people like you around here.
Well, you know, we've kind of listened to some of the older fellas,
Careful.
especially at this time. They don't like just sitting in a parking lot. You know, it's too hot. So we thought, well, let's do something where they can drive around when they're not sitting somewhere. They can go in and take a break, get in the cool air, get back in their cars, drive somewhere else.
See a little
We're not
scenery.
sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right, Clint
Yeah,
Huckabee, thank you. 409 Power Tour Poker Run. And
Yes.
that's going to be next Saturday afternoon. Goes into the evening over there in the Golden Triangle area.
And if you have any questions, reach out at 409-548-1097. And
Yes.
that's a phone number you can get a hold of. I'm assuming you don't have a website or Facebook page set up.
C10 Soul.
C10 Soul, Soul. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
Hey, you too. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, there
Okay.
used to be a really big deal over there. One of the first assignments I got when I started freelancing for magazines was to cover the Beaumont Spindletop run. It used to be in Beaumont, and they would have 300 plus rods out there at that Holiday Inn out there going into Beaumont.
Oh, wow.
And, for a 3-day event. The hurricanes came through one year we had like 3 or 4 of them and kind of busted it all up, tore up the hotels, and they just never got going again. I mean, the rod club, Spindletop Rod Club, still going. I mean, I think they're in the 30-something years, but now they get 125, 130 vehicles. It's just, he's right. The muscle cars and stuff don't mix real well for some reason. They've just kind of scattered, and I think it's great that they're doing this.
Well, I will tell you that I have been involved in lots of car clubs throughout the years, and these kind of events are fun. And bring what you brung.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference. Just go.
Become a part of it.
Yeah, it's always fun, and car people are always fun to be with, and might meet some hot chicks on the way.
Well, that or if you bring your wife, she's got something to do besides sit there and
she can hang out with all the other hot chicks.
There you go.
That's right. So she can drive the in-wheel time truck while you sit over there and swill down your booze.
No, she drive the truck, and everybody can get in the back of the truck in the bed of it.
She don't do that much anymore. I had her drive one time so I could take pictures. She freaked out when I hung out the door. I slid the side door open on the van and used the seatbelt to kind of hang out so I could get my pictures. It worked great, but she was not happy.
What are you doing?
No, she was screaming.
Does she still speak to you, Mike?
Making a lot of left turns.
Not in a couple of days.
Talks to him every Tuesday.
Whether she wants to or
Yeah,
not.
there you go.
Your laundry's done. Get the hell out.
Probably. Got a couple stories I wanted to get in before the top of the hour. U.S. light vehicle market hampered by lean stockpiles and chronic parts shortages still. Declined by double digits in June, capping a weaker second quarter and first half. Trucks and SUVs propelled Ford to a 1.8% gain in the second quarter and a 32% surge in June, ending a streak of monthly declines at the Ford division and Lincoln. With supplies tight and consumer demand still strong, new vehicle prices set records in June, with the average transaction price expected to reach $45,844, a 15% increase from June of last year.
Jeez.
And didn't they say the average payment is over $600 a month now?
I saw something on the internet yesterday that they are now splitting up payments to bi-weekly. The payments are so huge. And I guess people just don't save any money. And so you don't save any money between the two checks. And so now we'll just take it out of your check every paycheck, every 2 weeks.
It's Putin's fault.
Putin, yep.
Putin.
Putin.
That's really not a bad move because you actually pay less interest.
Huh.
Really?
Your interest is figured on a daily basis. So if you make a payment, your capital is going down, and it does it again.
I hear there's a move towards that in mortgage payments, is to make your mortgage payment half of it twice a month, and it really shortens up the terms of your mortgage, the time you pay. So I would think the same math would work on a car payment.
Well,
I knew you wanted to know that.
No, I didn't.
I saw it in your eyes. You wanted to know.
That's what
All the way from over there.
Yeah. Let's do a real estate section here, shall we?
I want to do food.
Since we're on real estate,
Yeah.
the house where Henry Ford lived when he introduced the Model T and the first moving assembly line has gone on the market for the first time in nearly 40 years. If you want to live in Hank's old house. Designed by the Ford Motor Company founder's wife, Clara, the 7,200 square foot home in Detroit's Boston Edition neighborhood has an asking price of $975,000. Owners Gerald and Marilyn Mitchell restored portions of the home that had been modified over the years and otherwise worked to preserve its history since buying it in '85. Ford's lived at 140 Edison from 1908 to 1915 when they moved to the Fairlane estate for privacy and from a constant barrage of job seekers.
the Fairlane Estate,
Yep.
named after one of their cars. I wonder.
Well, the car's named after
Named
the
after-
There was
estate.
also a mall and theater called Fairlane there in Dearborn as well. And the Fairlane Estate, I'm not sure if it's in disrepair or was repaired recently. I'm
And you
not
got to
sure.
think, Henry Ford did some amazing housing projects. Didn't he do a project up in like the UP where they were harvesting wood?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he created a whole city about
Yeah.
harvesting the
Yeah,
wood
it
to
was,
build the
It
cars.
was Fordlandia. Well,
Right.
that was down in South America.
Well, there I
That was
just
a
saw
rubber.
I just saw that one in abandoned
Yeah.
thing, and it was
Secrets in Abandoned,
Fordlandia,
yeah.
and it was this whole complex they built. Him trying to get his segment of the rubber industry.
Right, that was South
that
America, and then the
failed
wood was in the
miserably.
UP and all that. He had his hands in different
Smart
things.
man.
Yeah.
The property includes garages with car washes. Edsel Ford, who was a teenager in the home, had a workshop over the garage. The house has thick wood, an upstairs ballroom turned sitting area, whatever that means. Ballroom turned sitting area. 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, and quirks such as dusting and sleeping porches, and a kitchen flower bin. Most of the toilets and tubs are original, and a sort of intercom system, while not functioning, remains in place. Most of the fixtures are also original. Clara Ford's hat boxes are still in there, as are ledges in Edsel Ford's room where he placed his drawings. I just thought that was an interesting story
Yeah.
that I wanted to kind of close out our news section.
A lot of that
And
stuff
we've-
is in
and we-
Greenfield Village, too.
We are going to close out our show here in just a very short while. I have enough time to do this? I don't know.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, why not?
New Lexus LX worth a 4-year wait. Plenty of customers in Japan apparently think so, with delivery delays stretching that long in the home market. Toyota Motor Company's premium brand suspended new orders for the flagship large SUV this month. Otherwise, the company is concerned vehicles ordered today won't even arrive before the next model update is planned. Lexus has also pulled the plug on new orders for the NX compact crossover in Japan for the same reason. The wait has grown beyond 1 year, according to parent company Toyota.
Wow.
We're going to wrap up today's show after this quick break. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Lupi's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Real Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best car talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite car talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. That was a very special mix that I created there. That's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Headbanger.
When you're on our Facebook page, please give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our junk if you would, please. You'll get Conrad's Unicorn Hunting features along with all things automotive all week long, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other goodies. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. In Wheel Time can be heard live on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central. 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider 7 days a week. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Manager and the Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin. For booking agent and podcast editor Mike Mars and his royalty king Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Today's In Wheel Time was produced by Sid Caesar and Milton Berle. Be sure to join us again for our next In Wheel Time Car Talk Show next Saturday, July 16th, 2022, starting at 8 a.m. Central on all of these In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Stay cool, and so long for now.